Ah.
Okay.
Ah.
Roar!
Good day, everyone. How are we doing today? We had a beautiful day yesterday. Absolutely long day yesterday, but it was a gorgeous one. Long and drawn out. But we had to get down to the bottom of some things. Fresh coffee. Let me see. Good day, good day. How we feeling? Let me do this right quick while y'all come in. When we hang out, we start our day off beautifully. I gotta just write this real quick. Oh yeah. What? I can't spell right now. That's horrible. Can't spell, can't pronounce. Still. Okay. There we go. Yeah, what up, Ed? How you feeling? Good day to you. Good day to you. You know how we like to start the day off. I say good day. You say it back. Because over here we do not say morning because we are alive. We do not mourn each other. We appreciate being above ground every single day because it's a blessing. It's a present. So when I say good day, say back because I'm giving you productive vibes. I want you to give those productive vibes right back because this is a give and take. We got to take care of each other. Absolutely, we do. Yeah, what it do? Cellulite, how you feeling? Good day to you. How we feeling? Yes, thank you, Ed on Chain. Feel that. I feel the greatness and the productivity. Hopefully, you feel that I'm giving you great productivity vibrations as well as I sip my coffee. How did y'all day end yesterday? I believe we got down to it yesterday. We was building. We had great productive builds yesterday. We had a lot of understanding yesterday because problems plus wisdom equals solution. That's what my OG said. I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. Shout out to OG J Speed. He always have wisdom, so I always appreciate him whenever I hear him talk as well. Man, we got down to some things. We got down to a lot of misunderstandings yesterday. No, we got down to some misunderstandings with Unlikely and DJ Witch Doctor. They settled their differences. Taz and World Class, they had a clash and they had a huge misunderstanding, maybe like a 4 or 5 year misunderstanding, to be honest, because of a name. It was a beautiful and productive show, I believe. Good day, beautiful. How you doing? My lovely and gorgeous wife. How you feeling today? Hopefully you're doing good with the crazy kid. Because I know that kid crazy. She's a natural born feminist. And today we are going to delve deep into the word honesty. Because I think often it's misused. It's misrepresented. That's what I believe. At least from when I hear people talk about it, they always attempting to misuse being honest. Because they use honesty as a form of lying, to be honest. That's why we got to fake it till we make it. And then we always say, yes, this is truly me. But usually they have a mask on. And eventually, all those feelings that you held inside, it bubbles out and it comes out. And it looks disgusting. And I believe this is why relationships are not lasting nowadays, because people do not enter the relationship with honesty. Do you enter your relationship with honesty? Even with your friendship. What? Sway's about to make me drop the link early, god damn it. Why am I took a nope, I went to the bathroom. I don't know what you mean. I am clear of all that. All I'm saying, honesty is the best part. Good day, voice of Venus. How you doing? Sway producer starting early. He on his young bull-ish already. Insane. However, the problem is most people tell you to be honest, but they try to mask and hide the honesty. What I hear all the time. I hear this all the time. Men go out there and lie to women. Because honestly, that's what women want. They don't want the truth. This is what I hear from y'all. I think that's some remedial rhetoric. Damn, swear you blocked Venus? Damn. Let's get down to some solutions. Unblock Venus. Why you block her? What'd she do to you? Let's get it out in the open, goddammit. Don't be blocking Venus. She don't never curse anybody out. I never even heard her raise her voice. But yes, when I be hearing these men talk about dealing with women, I hear y'all talk crazy. I hear y'all say things that you should lie to them. You should fake it till you make it. You should lie about your income. You should lie about your intentions in dating. You should just lie to women just so you can get inside of that vagina. And I have a problem with it. Because you're not only lying to her, but you're lying to yourself. Most of you men want to be in beautiful, long-lasting relationships, but you don't know how to give because you out here listening to remedial rhetoric and talking about how you need to lie to women, how you need to be mysterious, and how you got to be suave, and you got to be romantic, and you do all these other things. You read these crazy books, and it tells you how to do everything in the world to get a woman, but be yourself. Why being yourself is such a difficult thing for you? It's okay.
I can do it.
I understand. You can do it. Thank you, beautiful. That's because you are raised to be yourself. And most people are not raising adults, they are raising children. And that's how come they get old and they get into the dating world and they still are children. They just old in age. What up, sugar bum? Venus over here starting stuff in the chat for no reason. Because a lot of times Sugar Bum says being themselves isn't likable. So do you want the men to lie to you? See, this is now when maybe I got it wrong. So Sugar Bum, do you want the men to lie to you? Because if they be themselves, they unlikable. This is why they feel like they have to lie. Voice of Venus, what did I confuse you about? I don't know. I do. I probably do confuse people sometimes. That's because I can't keep up with the conversation. That ain't my fault. Or is it? But one thing for sure, I'm honest. I'll be 100% myself. That's one thing for sure. So, Sugar Bum, so what I want to know, if being themselves is unlikable, so is the remedial rhetoric true? That they should go out around lying to people? So they could get a relationship, so they could get some of that. They wanted those yams. Sweet candy. Show me the way. Because I got bills to pay. Yes, they want to get to the yams. So, Sugar Bum, when you walk around the street with your blonde wig on and your booty on max, waist on snatch, looking like a breast full of milk, do you want that man to be honest with you or you want him to lie to you so he can get to you? Because if he be himself, he's unlikable according to you. And this is what a lot of men teaches these other young men, that they need to lie to get some of that. They don't want relationships. They want to be hoes. Which one? The ladies or the men? So the problem that I really see with the honesty. Oh, you got your black one on today? The blonde one is only for the weekends. I got you. They don't want relationships. See, I don't believe that. I believe most men want relationships. But most men are lied to. Most of the men are lied to. They are lied to. They are told that they are supposed to go out there and bust things wide open while they're young, and then wait until they're 30, and then that's when you're supposed to look for the relationship. So again, it's an honesty problem. So that's why they go out there, live out their first 10 to 15 years of dating, masking themselves, lying to people and themselves when they look in the mirror. And then when they turn 30, they think they could turn it off like a switch and say, oh, now I could be myself. No, but you just spent the last 10, 15 years being something that you're not. You need to go to therapy, maybe. I don't know. How are we going to change that? Because also men are convinced that they cannot be hoes. They are the hoe maker. That's what men are convinced of. So are we saying that, Easy Money Jones, are we saying men can be hoes? Or we are going to lie to them and say, no, men cannot be hoes? Where's the honesty in all these conversations is where I want to know. Because way too often they just want us to be on one side of the spectrum. However, I do hear it way too more often on one side or the other side that they need to lie and they need to finesse. So we got the men, they are trying to finesse you out your drawers. And we got the women are trying to finesse you out of withdrawals. That they trying to get in that bank account. And y'all trying to get into that stank account. That is what's going on in these streets. That's what I'm seeing. And neither side want to be honest about it. But guess who is honest about it? I guess that girl, Dre Michelle, she was honest about it. Damn, they're afraid of the consequences. But you know, what up, Travel One? A man being called a hoe isn't offensive, but it is to a woman. Shit, that's how come they try to take the word back. The same way how black people transferring the N word, women are transforming the H word. What up? It's me, Dr. G. How you feeling, doctor? And I think it's very interesting because the honesty thing, it works. We see Drea Michelle. She said it not too long ago in an interview, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. She said, yes, I would love to have another child. But I don't care to be in a relationship. I just want a child. I see a healthy human being. I'm still healthy. I look good. I'm snatched. Plastic surgery, whatever it is. How she got there. And she said, you know, we just could co-parent. And I think that's what she's doing with the young boy. And I don't know who lied to who. I don't know. But I also know that Gilbert Arenas was on his channel talking about how he had her in the back of the goddamn van with Swagger P in the car. So 2 NBA stars was in the car while Gilbert Arenas was getting his sloppy toppy on with Dre and Michelle. That is a horrible thing to hear now that you got this woman pregnant at 21 years old. And I think he became one of the youngest stepfathers in history. Yes, Venus, that's what happened. So Dre and Michelle, back in the day, Dre was doing some nasty things in the back of a Uber while 2 NBA stars was in there, Gilbert Arenas and Swaggy P. They was both in the Uber. Swaggy P was having a conversation. He looked back. Yo, oh, you just gonna do that right here while I'm in the car? Okay. Can I get next? But I think it's a foul time to hear about that when your co-NBA stars is saying how we had her, which in every way in the back of an Uber. That sounds crazy. What up, TBE Trucker? How you doing? Peace to you as well. That shit is crazy, Venus. Oh, so yeah, I mean, that is a good day. That's what's up, because that incel conversation is good, especially the people that's not a part of the internet like that. People that just starting to become part of the internet, that incel word is brand new to them. They had no idea. And also, I believe you could be an incel while within a relationship, by the way. Good day to you, Robin M. How are you feeling? Damn, no real man. They gossip more than women. Hey, I'm just reporting the news. I just seen it. That's it. I'm just reporting the news. That's what the man said. I ain't say it. I'm just reporting the news. But this is something that a lot of men are scared of. Men are scared of having this conversation of when they decide to build with a human being, this woman, this said woman, and then now men is out here talking and bragging about, pillow talking out in the open, in the world. It's a horrible feeling for men. But let's get back to the honesty. Can men actually get out there and be themselves and still get what they desire, which is a long-lasting relationship with a beautiful woman that is in shape, that is fit and friendly? The feminine thing, I'm not too sure that men actually want a feminine woman, to be honest with you. This is what I'm talking about. We're going to go honest. We're going to talk about things honestly. I do not think most men are looking for feminine women. Absolutely not. I believe 60% of men are looking for their female to be equal or the leader. Good day, Royce. They want their woman to run the relationship. They want them to be responsible for all things. All that man want to do is go to work and come home and drink a beer, and that's it. He don't want to work out. He don't want to bet himself by reading books. He don't want to learn how to read faster. He don't want to learn how to retain more information. He want to give her all of the issues, and he want to live behind the fact that he is muscular, physically stronger, and he want to be, I provide and I protect, because I come home, I give you my check, and if somebody walk into this house, even though most likely it'll never happen, I'm here to protect you with my life. I'm going to walk on the other side of the street. He do not want no real responsibility in a relationship. He do not want the relationship to build. He do not want the relationship to grow. Most men do not want to run their relationship. Most men want a masculine woman. Most men out here, when they talking, they do not want a woman that's quiet and polite. And we see it on these panels. Good day, Otis. How you feeling? We see it on these panels. A lot of these men, when we do have a nice, beautiful, quiet woman that is in her femininity, they still attack that woman as well. It's confusing to women. But then guess what? When that woman gets up and she starts bucking up, oh, y'all want to hop on that one. Talk to her all day. Y'all want to try to tame that. Y'all want to tame that stallion, even though I don't know why they call women stallions, because, to be a stallion, you got to be a male horse. Strange, oddly enough, right? To be a male horse, that's called a stallion. So why when a girl's walking down the street with an attitude, with that booty looking a certain way, they say, woo, look at that stallion. Strange, don't you think? But that's just me being honest. When I hear certain words, it just kind of is strange to me. Another thing that's very strange to me is when a man say SMID to a woman in a form of an insult. That's strange to me. How is that insulting that she'd do something that you are pleased by? How is that an insult that you asking her to do something that you are pleased by? Maybe you're not really pleased by that. I don't know. It's strange to me. I can see why you would say it to a man, because you want to, I don't know, maybe because you want that. I have no idea. I never said it to a man, even out of anger. That is not my go-to. I'm just saying, it's just not my go-to. It's just weird. That's all I'm saying, Venus. It's just weird. I get it that it's rude, but it's weird. This is my honest opinion. I think it's weird to me that men compare a beautiful woman walking down the street to a male version of that same. This is weird. But hey, neither the maybe Q from, I believe that was Q that said it. Maybe she was right. Maybe 50% of these men are playing the tambourine. Maybe. But what I want to get back to the honest talk, right? So I do not believe that most men, I believe 40% of the men in this world, in this population, want feminine woman, because when you deal with a feminine woman, you got to take a lot of responsibility, because she looks to you for your leadership. She said, hey, we got this, right? And the more things that you are not getting, it's going to start to transfer. Her feminine might start here, and the more things that you are lacking on, her masculine is going to rise up to the top, and then eventually surpass yours, because you are not handling what you said you was going to do. And that put her more in the leadership role, and now she got to move forward, and now she got to take care of things. And I think a lot of you men are willing to do that. Not do it in a way where you handle your part, I handle my part. No, I think you want to give the woman more responsibility. You want to give her more financial responsibility. As we hear in these spaces, y'all want to do 50-50. And most of you men, we get to see that the men are the one that's hypergamous. That's just me being honest again. I see more men being hypergamous than women. I see more women dating down than men. Most of the time when I see things out here in the world, the men are dating at least at their level. And the women, when they get they are dating below their level and try to bring that man up to her level. They're willing to pull that man up. Come here. Let me show you the way, because I got bills to pay. If you want to get to the yams, sweet candy, show me the way, because I got bills. Y'all know it. Dudes don't want to work on themselves before getting into relationships. If you can't stand your damn self, how do you expect somebody else to deal with it? What up, Elite? How you feeling? This is just what I'm seeing. I'm just being honest right now. I see a lot of men out there being more hypergamous than the women. They are looking for women as a come up. They're looking for women to make their life easier. That woman got to put on more responsibility when she take on you, according to how a lot of these men speaking. They say, hey, first of all, you got to go out there and work, and I'm going to work. I shouldn't have to take care of a grown woman. This is what I hear. You're a grown woman. You was grown before I met you. You was taking care of bills before I met you. You was taking care of your hair, your nails, all these things before I met you. That's what I hear these men say. And then, so now after that, they want you to come into the relationship and then take on more responsibility. They say, hey, we together because I'm going to provide and protect. What do you provide and protect? Half the bills? Oh, so I got to provide and protect half the bills too? Yes. Okay. So what about the protection part? That's all on me. I'll do all the protection. But when I'm outside by myself, then what? I'm still protecting you. What? What? So what are you bringing, sir? Protection only when I'm there, or when we sleep in the house. You only protected me when somebody finally breaks into our house. Shit, you better call your cousin, say you better break into this house. It's been 5 years and nothing. He ain't having protect me not one time. Better start making it toxic. You know the man like that toxic vagina. Nah. I'm just playing. Damn, dick and dust. Not even no bubble gum. God damn. At least back in the days, they gave you hard dick and bubble gum. Now they just give you dick and dust. Yikes. Shit. But for real, fellas, it's time to step it up. Now, this Bella, that's hilarious. So glad Sierra's prayer worked. Shamana. Should have had a Honda. It worked. I believe that, yes, if that is something that you need to do, you have to, because most people are not going to be able to just take care of the women, because most women do not want you to shop at Sears for their clothes. I get it, because if I'm making 60 to 70,000 for me to fully take care of you and for you to get some new clothes, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to go to Kohl's for shopping. You are not going to be able to go to, Macy's. We're going to have to go to JCPenney's and shit. We're going to shop at the thrift store. Y'all want to see? Nah, y'all got to send me a $1 bill. Y'all want me to pray again? Y'all want me to pray? I'm going to give y'all Sierra's prayer again. I need a $1 bill, goddamn. Stop playing. So, so a lot of women, they out there, they said, hey, man, every day before I went to bed, I did the Sierra's prayer. I said, I'm on a boom. And Miss Bella got her man. He just poop. She's like, oh, shit. Hey, how you doing? She's like, hey, goddamn. And so what we see with these relationships, right, is that if you don't do the Sierra's prayer, that man says he wants to give you provision and protection, but he ain't really providing anything. He's doing half his bills because he said he's not going to do any more than that because you're growing. So you're like, okay, I'm going to give you the other half of the bills, and we living in this 2-bedroom apartment. Boom. Now y'all moving up. And then I said, hey, but you also got to cook. Okay, that's another thing. Or you got to clean after yourself and me. Okay. Also, I need you to be quiet. Hold on. Shout out to Venus. I hope you've seen it for the Sierra's prayer. Shout out to Venus. Lighten up my day. I appreciate you.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shout out to Venus. Hopefully you've seen the Sierra's prayer. Shout out to Venus with the fireball. I appreciate you. Also, we got my guy.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Buenos dias. Look at Lee being multilingual. So we got Venus. She said, God damn it, Sharon, how do I do this? How do I get this magic mythical man? And this is how you do it every day before you go to sleep. What you do, you go down, you get on your knees. Say, God, I've been a good woman. I did all the things, I did all the work, and amen. That's how you do it, girl. That's how you go ahead and you do the Sierra's prayer. God damn it. And then you could be just like Miss Bella. Yep, he just stumbled upon her and just say, hey, you had a package. And she's like, shit, that was quick. Because when you change your attitude, you change who you are. You invite certain things into your life once you change your aura. Because your aura changes as you get more intelligent. You gain more intellect of the world. That's what happens. Things become visible because at one point you was like this. Your vision was like this and you just didn't realize it. And then as you change your intellect and your intelligence, you start to see things. Until you see the whole full spectrum of the world and you can see things. That's because you're being honest with yourself. And a lot of these men need to be honest with themselves, which they are not. Change your mindset, you could change your life. A lot of men don't even understand being broke and being impoverished is two different types of mentalities. Because you can fix being broke, but you cannot fix being in a mental poverty. But you need to change your ideology. You need to change your philosophy if you want to change your income. Because guaranteed, if something was to happen, something was to happen and your income was to change dramatically, but your mentality didn't change with your income, guaranteed, you're going to get right back to where you started of income. Because your philosophy has to change for things to change. Same thing with the relationships. So your philosophy of women or your philosophy of men have to change for the human beings that you allow into your life change. Because you can't be honest. And this is the problem. A lot of people cannot be honest with themselves. They scared to allow their honest selves to be out there in the world because they're afraid that their dating pool is going to get smaller as they get honest, but less is actually more. Because when you have this big ass pool of human beings to choose from, it's just like when you go to a diner. There's a reason why there's no such thing as a 5-star diner because they got too many things on the menu. How the fuck you got 100 items on the menu? What is your go-to? What is good here? You have no idea. You look at this menu, you just flip it through, and then you just go, give me the steak and eggs. The paradox of choice. But when you go to a 5-star restaurant, they may have just 10 to 20 items. Because this is what they're good at. They mastered these 10 to 20 items. They got 5 main courses, 5 appetizers, 5 desserts. Pick one. Get it together. They are focused. And that's why they get the 5 stars. This is why there's always a line outside. This is why you got to call for reservations. The diner could go at any time of the day. The reason why the diner got to stay up 24 hours because that's the only way they can make money. Because people come there when they're drunk. And they have no idea what they're eating. They're just chewing. So do you want to be drunk in love? I know you do. You want to be up all night? Ah. Y'all too caught up in likeness. I want to be liked. Oh, we like the same goddamn food. Oh, we like the hike. Oh, no. You need to get your goddamn values together. What up, world class? You need to get your goddamn values together. And stop lying to yourself saying that you want to be out here doing shit by yourself. You could do bad by your lonely. That shit only lasts up but to some amount of years. Eventually, you want some goddamn honest for your ass. You want somebody by your side. You know what else we need to be honest about this goddamn wall we be talking about? We be talking about men cannot hit a wall. You know why men fucking die much earlier than women? I'll be honest with you. Because women are willing to group together. The bigger the group of women, the longer they live. Simple as that. Men, and we need to do the same goddamn thing. We need to get a group of men that have the same core values as us. This way we can build up our lives together as well. And we can hold each other down and keep us on the right path. Because you know, when a woman has problems, they get the whole group together. Most of us men, we call it gospel. They get together and say, hey, Sheila, that was fucked up. You never told me about the Sierra's prayer. She said, oh, my bad. Let me tell you how it goes. Oh, they get together and they be good. They go on trips. They girls trips. They go to salons together. They do everything together and they keep building. And that's how it comes. They are happier. But man, we want to do it alone. Oh, I need $5. Oh, just call your cousin Jimbo. I ain't calling his bitch out. We do everything by ourselves. That's the honest truth. That's why men die before women. And that's another reason why when we get married, we tend to live longer because now we have a community. We have our children. We have our wives. We go to meetings and functions. I don't know why it's always a Sheila. But let's get back to being honest. Honestly, these men on these panels, they make long-lasting relationships look horrible for women. Y'all not making it look like it is a good thing for women to be involved with y'all. Because y'all not willing to move the fucking goalposts anywhere. Y'all want to plant that shit and stay right there. Hey, I make $60,000, that's it. I ain't gonna never try to do anything else in my life. We're gonna live in this 2-bedroom apartment for the rest of our life. Males, not men. Maybe you are correct. Maybe I need to change my verbiage. So what I should say is that 60% of males want a masculine woman, and it's got 40% of men out of the 100% of males. Only 40% of those males are men, and those men will love a feminine woman. It is kind of crazy. It's kind of wild when you think about it. Uh-oh. Venus says she is done with me talking about myself. She want to see the link. She got some things to get off her chest. I know she don't got a long time, so I'm going to drop the link for Venus because she's going to tell me where I am wrong at. I know she is, so I'm going to drop the link. If we have a disagreement so far, we could talk about it. That's right. And plus, I helped her with the Sierra's prayer. Now she knows she got to do every night before she go to sleep. And then one day, some dude's just going to knock on her door with flowers in his hand. She's like, what the hell is this? And she's going to have to pull up a stream and say, God, Sharon, it worked. Uh-oh. Let's see where I'm wrong at. Welcome to the show, the beautiful and always seductive voice. I will pay any amount of money to hear her talk dirty to me. Rule by Venus.
Good morning. The voice ain't so good right now, but
Good day. How you doing today?
listen, I got time today. Okay, I'm gonna be here because
Oh,
I just came back from New York. I'm tired, so I'm gonna be in my
mm,
bed all day long. So I'm here for the show. But I wanted
nice.
to say something. So I think I agree with you about they don't want feminine women. I'm gonna tell you why.
Ooh.
Um, a lot of times when you get with men, especially like at first, and you're extra nice, extra accommodating, and you're
Mm,
just trying to go with the flow because you
mm.
you know you want to give them a good impression. Usually they walk all over you, and
Damn.
then the woman turns into something else, right? That's why they be like, well, when I met her, she wasn't like that. So when she came to you like that, you mishandled her. So then she
Mm,
felt like she needed to put a wall up and get this like tough exterior. But
mm,
because it was like, well, why'd you get with her? Well, she wasn't like that. So okay, what changed? They don't know how to handle a feminine woman. So a lot of them, they think that means weakness. They think that means walk all over you,
mm.
mistreat you. You're never gonna go anywhere. So a lot of people are saying they want things that they themselves do not even know how to handle for real.
Powerful, beautiful. That is a great sentiment, and I think this is why a lot of men, at least the ones that is out there verbally communicating all this disdain for women, is because they have a ideology of somebody else's woman, and they trying to fit somebody else's ideology of a woman onto themselves, and this is why they are unhappy with themselves. This is why they are in so much despair. They want to tell, like, listen, most men want their woman to be nice, soft, and fluffy. I'm sorry to tell you, that's what we like. We like to see things jiggle and wiggle, wiggle. That's why we just be looking at y'all and y'all be like, I got these ugly gray sweatpants on, my hair not done. We don't care about none of that. You still look gorgeous to us.
D Town said, Venus, get a man, please. How you know I don't have a man? You know
Ooh.
me? Because I don't know you.
So that's the thing too. And sometimes we gotta understand. I don't understand it why a lot of people they want to be clownish all the time. They want to be funny because a lot of times when somebody is trying to be funny, that's because it's deep rooted into something a little darker, and that's why they are funny. Because we know the funniest people in the world, they're usually the most depressed. How
I'm
crazy
talking
is
about
that?
D Town. D Town is married. I know that.
What?
Yeah, D Town. I seen his wife, and she's pretty. What's up,
Ooh,
D Town? Yeah, D Town. My wife is like a makeup artist and
mm.
everything.
Shout out to D-Town with the sexy lady, even though he got the Michelin Man neck. Shout out to him.
D Town always trying to start. I'm not arguing with you today, D Town.
Oh, what up, DJ Tight? Callie Bev is in the building. Lamar Black and Tight. Yamagashi. Thank you. So I think a lot of times when we hear when we see the so-called submiss, like Aaron, he was doing a show last night and Janae was on the panel, like he was doing a reminiscent video, and I seen Janae. I was like, damn, I ain't hear her voice in a long time. And I think that young lady, she was pretty submissive and pretty friendly. I always see her with a dress. She was looking good. She always took her time to talk. But
Oh,
when she used to
perfect
talk on those
example.
panels,
Yes, thank you. Exactly. They ran those nice girls away.
yes,
Ran them away. That's what I'm like. Y'all say you want feminine women. They come around, y'all dogpile them, pick every little thing they say apart, attack them. They done made Janae cry on camera and everything. Like they treated her so bad. So y'all, like I'm gonna say it again. Y'all say y'all want something, but when it's in your face, you don't even know what to do with it. I agree with
absolutely.
you. They
They
don't want feminine
mishandled
women. They don't.
it. They mishandled it because they don't even know what it actually takes to deal with extremely feminine women. If you dealing with extremely feminine women, you got to be extremely in your masculine for it to actually work because she's gonna come to you with all types of problems that you might not want to deal with it if you are just as feminine as her. I also want to welcome to the show Otis Who Podcast.
Grand
Good day,
Rising,
sir.
Grand
How you
Rising.
feeling?
How are you? Peace to the panel.
Good
How are you,
Oh,
ruled?
morning.
thank
How
you.
are you, ruled by Venus? My first time meeting you. How are you?
Oh, you can just call me Venus. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
So, wait,
Hey,
Sharon, I have
Otis.
one thing, please.
Oh, go ahead.
Because they used to be like, Venus, Sherelle, and those women, they're masculine, right? So it
Hmm.
was quote unquote justifiable why they were treating us like that, right? So
Okay.
then we sat back, we seen Janae, we seen
Mm,
Kai, we seen all
mm.
these other women, and they treated them the same way. So it was like,
Exactly
well,
the
what's the
same.
excuse? Y'all just want to treat women like shit because y'all just want to treat women like shit. Doesn't matter how she comes.
Correct. It's because they need to go back to therapy and talk to that high school little boy that was awkward and weird looking. He had the big head and his body didn't match his chest, and he looked weird. He had big feet, skinny legs. They called him chicken legs, and he had braces, and he was just very weird looking. His teeth was bigger than his goddamn mouth. I'm sorry, sir, but you look weird when you was in high school. And that girl that you tried to holler at, all the jocks got her. Now you mad because she was going to Pound Town with all the jocks. And you like, she didn't like me when I was weird looking. She should have liked me then. And now that you filled into your manhood and now you feeling all good because you went to the gym because you got your heart broken, you still chasing that high school sweetheart. And then what happens? You wound up seeing that high school sweetheart and she wound up looking like D-Town. And now you upset. Shit. I'll be
I'm a
upset too.
ZM Z-Town wife if he keep acting up. So I get her to beat him up.
So Otis, why do you think to be honest, a lot of men do you believe that a lot of men do not want a truly feminine woman? What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with you to a certain extent. Me personally, speak for myself. Of course, I want a feminine woman. I love my woman to be as feminine as possible. From when she wakes up in the morning, the way she gets out the bed, the way she walks down the steps, the way she picks her clothes, the bra she's going to put on for the day, the way I want all the femininity that comes with that.
Ooh la
Uh,
la.
with that being said, I can understand how a man could want a woman if they were brought up with nothing but a woman in the household. They want a woman to coddle them. So when they're looking for their mates, I can see psychologically they're really looking for their mother.
Oh
They're
damn.
looking
No,
for.
you
Yes.
didn't.
Yes,
You
he's
didn't go there,
preaching.
Otis.
But
Yes, he's
it's the
preaching.
truth though. I'm just being honest.
You didn't go
It is
there,
the truth.
Otis.
But
Tell the truth. That's right.
I'm just being honest. I was raised. I'm the oldest son, the oldest child. Period. I was raised with my mom and my grandmother. They walked around the house with their slips. Back then, slips were in fashion. Back then, right now, you just put on the skirt without no slip under it. But back then, you could put on a slip. So I saw my grandmother and my mother walk around the house, sometimes naked, sometimes with their bra and their slips on, their panties. So I see the femininity. I have two sisters. I understand it. Didn't have a father, but I knew I was heterosexual. I knew what I wanted. I wanted that femininity. So when I'm looking for that femininity, I want to not control it. That's the wrong word, but I want to be the dominant person. I want that. I don't want my
Yes.
woman to be dominant over me. Some women
Yes.
can get that misconstrued because they grew up with a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Talk
can
about
see
it.
how the lines could cross. But I
Yes,
land the
talk
plane
about
there.
it. Me
Yeah,
and
what? I
Sharon.
ain't hear what you said, Venus.
I love that laugh.
I didn't
Talk
hear
It
what
about
Venus
it,
sounds so
King.
it sounds so devilish when she do that laugh.
I didn't hear what she said.
I said, talk about it, King. That's right.
But yeah, but that's
Oh
what I see.
man.
I do see a lot of appearance wise masculine men who really have mama issues.
Woo!
And I'm being
That is
honest. I know I have daddy issues. I'm 53. I miss my daddy. I don't know how he was. I'm not saying he was an asshole. I don't know what he was. I don't know. So I know I have daddy issues, but I understand how a man could have mother issues. I promise you I can. And they take that and put it into their relationship. They want a mother. They don't want a significant other to take care of, to
Okay.
rub them, to
Go ahead,
massage them, to
Venus.
have
I
that.
see you. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Venus.
Ooh, he said rub and massage him, child. All right. I got a little bit of pushback. I do
Okay.
understand how men can have mommy issues because I've seen some mothers treat their sons very poorly and be abusive, and young minds don't know how to process that. So they could grow up with a resentment toward women
Mm-hmm.
because of how they were treated. So I mean, I do understand it. I just don't understand. Like once you get a certain age and you can even acknowledge that you have mommy issues, then it's no longer an excuse because now you can actually start like trying to get help. But I do understand it. To be fair, it
Yeah, I
doesn't
think
make it okay
that's
after a
the
certain age to take it out on every woman you see. That is a problem.
that is a serious issue, and I think way too often. That's okay. Thank you. I see way too often as my baby girl brings me a cup of coffee as well. So it's not just I get it from my wife, I get it from my daughter as well, right? But what I'm saying is this is that at what point do that man that have all these trauma issues, he needs to start working on himself? And people tell you, we see you and say, hey, bro, you have a problem. You need to go and fix that. You can't fix it on YouTube, Joseph. I didn't mean to say that, but you need to go to
No, you
therapy.
did, and you're right.
You need to go to therapy, and you need to go figure out what happened to you when you was in high school that made that switch in your brain, and you look at all women as trauma at this point now. Because every woman that you encounter is a traumatic situation, or you create a traumatic situation. We had beautiful feminine women all the time, women on these panels, and you chase them all away. That's why they scared to come up. They just be in the clouds, chilling, watching back. It's like, hey, I ain't going there. It's too hostile.
If you somebody put Nurse Fancy in the chat, if you notice, you might see Nurse Fancy on my show one occasionally, but you won't see her nowhere else. You talking about Lucky? Bet you will rarely see Lucky go anywhere besides her channel. Very rare. So again, y'all, like I said, they treat all the women like that. Unless a woman comes up here and agrees with damn near everything they say, it's a problem.
That is a very honest reaction. And for me, I think just me knowing what masculinity is for myself personally, what things that I'm willing to do and what I'm not willing to do, I understand that 80% of things I speak with a woman, she is not going to agree to it because she's going to need more understanding because I'm very quick and concise and to a point. I'm not very long-winded. So she'll be like, what? You believe that? What you mean you don't eat no vagina? And then I go,
You what? Huh? You
Yeah, you
don't?
wild for that. You need to just be canceled.
You don't?
no, absolutely not.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Damn, where Anya, man? I'm sorry, Anya. I'm sorry for your loss.
Damn. Listen, but all jokes aside, well, I was serious. They ain't no joke. I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm new to this space. Serious. This is my second time being on a panel. The first panel I was a part of. I don't want to bring that up. Ugh. But
Ugh.
this is my first time. So I'm new to this. Not saying that we're this, the manosphere, whatever, the red pill, blue pill. I'm not saying we are this.
This
I
ain't the
don't know
manosphere. You said that yesterday. Can you stop calling us that? We're not that.
the what.
We're
It's
not the
not the
manosphere.
manosphere?
No.
No,
Okay, thank you. But we're talking about it a lot, though, correct? So
that is very true.
Okay, so I apologize not staying corrected. My point is, I don't know a lot about it, but as I'm hearing it, I don't agree with a lot of the ideology. It seems like they're just bashing a lot of women for whatever reason. That's just my understanding of it. I could be wrong.
And I think that is
I
so
don't-
important, Otis, that what you
Mhm.
said is that when you come from the outside in and you just hearing the conversation, you just allowing the conversation to go to their mouth to your ears, it sounds a certain way. Even though
Right.
most of these men now in those spaces that's talking like that, they say, that's not what I meant. Those are the words you used.
But also,
you used
too,
bashing words.
yeah. But also, too, I can honestly say this, and I mean this. You are an anomaly. I can't even say the word. Here go my Jesse Jackson shit. Can't say it. I stutter a lot. Can't say it. But you are
I'm just
an
saying, you know, I
anomaly,
can't
whatever.
pronounce nothing. You know, I can't pronounce no syllables.
I am too. I love my wife. I know you love yours. My wife loves me. I don't want to make it seem like I know it might appear that way, that I'm very dominant. My wife doesn't have a voice. No, that's not true.
Right.
When I'm talking, I'm just very animated and I'm come out with this passion. But trust me, if you met my wife, she's very strong. But when we're together, it's just obvious I'm the dominant one. But she has her voice.
She has her say so.
We have our back and forth, and the outside world look at us like, oh, y'all so cute. Look how they talk to each other. She has a little smart sarcasm phrases that she hit me with. Yep. Only her and I understand, but to the average person, damn, she just went off on him. Nah,
Across
that's
the
how we
street?
communicate. That just turned me on. That's you don't understand. So we're different. The average person don't live like we live and don't understand the love we have for our wife. I can look at another woman all day, but I know what I got beside me. I know what I got. So I think that's the difference. Yes, I'm jealous. I'm a Scorpio. I have my moments, but she's like that. I grab her when, when she, but that's our dynamic. But you have to know what you're working with.
Absolutely. I also want to welcome to the show the Chicago Rilla. But before I let Chicago Rilla join the conversation, I want to address Aaron all. Bashing is violent physical assault. So sometimes your words can be violent and physical assault to human beings' ears. Yes, you are attacking my ears violently with your remedial rhetoric. Yes, absolutely. So they are woman bashing. God damn it. What's up, the Chicago Rilla? How you feeling?
Peace to the guys. Top of it, family. Top of it. What's going on, Venus? What's up, Otis?
Peace to you, brother.
Hey, man. I'm just moving and
Hi,
shaking.
Chicago Rilla. And I just want to say to Aaron, if you look at the second definition, it says severe criticism under the word bashing. So anyway.
Oh, severe criticism.
So it's the right word. Bashing is right.
I was listening to a little bit of what y'all was saying earlier. I missed this last part where Otis said he grabbed on his wife and he dominated or something. I don't know. I missed all
no, you heard all no, you heard all
Damn. I did hear you talking about, though, brothers saying they want feminine women and all this other. On my personal page, I just made a plea to the brothers to stop asking for submission from a woman. Like, just stop it, fam. Like, you don't know what it is. You wouldn't know what to do if you had it. You don't even know why you need it.
Yeah.
Like, just stop asking, fam.
Because a real nigga gonna get it regardless. He ain't gotta ask for it.
Listen, what dudes is really begging for is cooperation.
That's what
and
they
even
really
more
want.
so than that, they just want a woman to be nice to them. You're not worried about nobody submitting to you because you don't have it in you to provide proper covering to protect that submission.
Wow.
You saying some
shit. Just relax, fam.
You can't even protect it from you. You can't even protect it from you.
That was beautifully said. You need to say that one more time because it was really good. Also, I want to welcome to the show Yamagoshe Hamagate Soro.
Oh, snap.
Oh, here we go. Aren't you sleep, Lamar?
No, it's about 11:30 p.m. over here.
I know. You should be asleep, shouldn't you?
No, I'm good.
So I don't
need you to go to one of those sneaker stores and grab me something.
Hey, I don't want to get past that because I think that was very valuable information of what Chicago said. Can you please talk to that again? If they was to get that, they were fumbling, and the reason why they were fumbling.
1,000%, bro. Like, listen, I think what we're hearing now at this point, bro, is a loud minority of men who are asking for something that they don't qualify for. And if you understood submission, you wouldn't be out here crying on panels talking about you can't get this, that, and the third from a woman, blah, 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 blah. Right? Because you understand the responsibility. There's more responsibility on you to provide covering over that submissive woman. Whew. That's a very heavy load to carry, fam. And we out here like it's Snicker bars and candy.
Wow.
Asking for some doggone submission, man. Just relax, fam. Like, chill out with that. And that's why I'm saying all year, man, the good brothers got to start speaking up more, man. The brothers that are married and is successful or good relationships, you know what I'm saying, got to start speaking up more. Because people are making it seem like there's no good women out here. Shout out to Trill. I just reposted something that he was saying. The brother was saying, like, you like niggas out here saying ain't no good women. No, you pass the good women up every day.
Every day.
There's a librarian somewhere. There's a teacher somewhere. There's a nurse somewhere. I'm just speaking on occupation.
I don't know about the nurses. I don't know.
Yeah, they're nurses.
I keep hearing y'all say
the nurses are good. The nurses are good. Go ahead.
I'm about to say I know a few good nurses. I don't know what y'all talk about, but shout out to y'all.
I do know a few good nurses, but I never really heard of them being faithful.
Oh,
you know their body.
Stop it.
No,
y'all
they know anatomy. Okay, they make you.
I want Jesus Christ, Lamar. I want the main thing. The truth of the matter is, man, you should be out here finding your you. A lot of dudes that's asking for certain things from women, you like say something as basic as I think you were saying the other day, Sharon, about asking brothers about their purpose. You ask most people their purpose, they can't even tell you what their purpose is.
Absolutely
You
not.
ask them, hey, what's the vision for your family? They can't tell you that. What's your
Absolutely
1
not.
year, 5 year, 10 year, 20 year plan? Right?
Mhm.
What's your
But they got
100?
time to tell a
What's your
woman how she
100 year
should be.
plan?
Woo!
Wait, you speaking? Because they got time to
He
tell a
said 100
woman.
years.
They got time to tell a woman how she should be when you ain't even sat there and thought about how you should be. What the hell?
And I think we have to start promoting that young men. Like if you really want what you want, you need to start minding out what you want, not what somebody else that you heard somebody else say, right? That's number one. Start minding out your own woman. Stop figuring out what you like and what's attractive to you, not what somebody else say. Don't go by what Sharon's standards is of a woman. Go by your own standards, and then you need to find a woman to marry your plan, not marry you as a man. Those are two completely different things. Because when you marry just a man, y'all just willy-nilly. Oh, we together, we gonna see where it goes. Oh, we gonna just you hear a lot of uhs when you have a conversation. But a man with a plan, he's gonna be very direct and say, hey, listen, in the next 3 years, I'm planning on getting a 3-bedroom house. Or and then in the next 5 years, I'm planning on getting a multi-family house, so this way I could live on the bottom, rent out the top, and now I'm just paying half the rent in the neighborhood that I want to, and then eventually we move out of that one, and then now we get our own single house. So he has a plan. He got steps to move, and you can marry that, and you can build with that, because you know where you're going, and you can submit to that, because his plan also involves you moving through life as well.
You got to add some more to that though, because any man could come into your life and say, "Hey, I plan to buy a house," and you don't just marry somebody because they said that. You got to be
Body,
paying
body.
attention to how that man move.
Right, but see, that's the beauty of when you dealing with a man that has a plan, right? And this is why we got to teach young men to have a plan, because once he have a plan, he got to start executing. And then the more things he execute onto that path of the plan, you could start to trust him more and more as the years go by, because he's standing on his words and he's standing by his plan. No matter which way it moved him, obstacles he had to jump over, he kept persevering. And this is the thing that most men don't understand. That is what women want. They want a man that's going to persevere through tough times when it look like I don't have no idea how we're going to get there. I really don't even know how we're going to get there, but I know we got a plan, and I'm going to get there, and I'm going to run through a fucking wall to get there. And when you get through that goddamn wall with the dirt all of you and everything, smelling stinks, you're like, God damn, that's my man. Like, that's your man? She's like, yep, that's my man.
The key word is plan. Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for y'all guys. What if that plan changes?
Thank you. And I was just about to tie on it. Thank you. That's why I like that word plan, because or have emotion, have something about you that's moving forward. A woman knows what's going on, but I'm not putting it all on a woman. I'm not. But some onus is on the woman. The woman knows when they're looking at that man, whether they're dating, courting, whatever the situation may be, they see how that man is moving. They see it. That man could not have a job at that time, or he might have a job, but it's not paying well. But the way he's moving, what he's doing after he get off work to look for another job, or he's taking up another secondary education or something, trade to move forward, or he's trying to build a second business. That woman sees that. Does she also see the man that she's quote unquote dating standing on the corner, or has one job and content with that one job, not even trying to do nothing else? You just over there with him playing the Xbox. You know what you got. You know what you got.
Past that right there.
But you horny. I'm being real, but you get horny. You open the legs up. He didn't rape you. You know he ain't got a good job. He didn't rape you, but you horny. You open the legs up, and then 9 months later, you got twins.
Twins.
So that's what happens. Not blaming it on the woman, but you got control of that jewel down there. Slow up, know what you're looking for, and then give it up once that man show you that potential that he has something coming. If you don't have nothing and you still want to give it to him, what happens after that? It happens. My plan has landed.
Hey, that's all kumbaya stuff. I used to be in sales for a lot of years. I made a lot of money in sales. If they like you, they'll buy from you. So no matter what you're selling, if they don't like you. My My man, unlikely can test for this. If they don't like you, they're not buying from you. So
So, and
first, you got
that's
to
why Lamar,
got to
and
be a
that is
likable.
why that word like, and this is
You got to
why
be a likable person. You got to learn how to be likable. That way, you can sell whatever you're selling.
right. And so this is why I wanted to go with the word honest, because a lot of people don't believe they honest selves are likable. That's number one. And number two, a lot of people want to get into like relationships, right? They just want to be hey, we like the same movies. That's why we should be together. That doesn't mean that you're compatible for life. You understand? Just because you like the same music, just because y'all both think Cardi B is cool, doesn't mean that y'all should be in the bedroom together. Y'all need to get some goddamn values together, not your likeness. Because this is why most of the people that when we do hear them talk when they're much older, they say, he used to get on my goddamn nerves when I first met him. We are complete opposites, but they values align, and that's something that you can get with and stay with when your values align. I know there's some people out in the world that they are just so attracted that they marriage work because no matter what conflict they went in, the bedroom solved all problems. But that ain't most human beings because we know most women are not getting to the climax. And that's like, I'm like I must be because I don't have to eat no vagina to get it there. You
Oh
understand?
Damn, you're a
God.
vegetarian. I understand that. I
Uh,
make sense.
can let me answer chime in on Lamar's question. Somebody got a lot of static.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
Yeah,
Venus when you yeah, thank you, Venus. Go ahead.
Yo, so when you talk about when the plan, what to do when the plan changes, right? And that happens, right? The ultimate form of leadership is leadership by influence. So the
Mm,
methodology of the plan, will change. Like how we attack the goal may change, right? But the core tenet of the plan should not change. Now, when and if that does happen, like the core plan changes, you should be able to walk that through, and you should have enough trust and credibility that you can lead your family through that change. Because the one thing that is consistently constant and does not change is change. Change is always happening, right? So we shouldn't be adverse to change. We should be rushing head first into it. But now, if every 5 days the plan is changing, then that's a different issue, and that's a bigger problem.
right.
Do I
I
sound
do.
bad now?
I do agree with him on that. When
No,
the
you
core
sound good
never
now.
changed, like that was saying the person really never changed. I know y'all think people change, but I think you are what you are. But I do agree with him. The core doesn't change. Something you have to pivot and you gotta go a different way. And when you go a different way, it doesn't mean it's all bad. Sometimes it's good. You
Yes,
just have that
absolutely,
knowledge
Lamar.
then.
Wait, can I say
Absolutely.
something about what you said, Sharon, earlier?
About my swerving skills? Or how about
No,
oh,
about
okay.
um people. Okay, so when you guys are speaking about submission or cooperation, right? This is my theory. If you got with someone who was compatible with you,
Mm,
then cooperation would be easy for you. But if you get with someone who's not compatible with you, she doesn't necessarily agree with the way you do things, right? She doesn't see it, whatever it is, then
mm-hmm.
there is no cooperation. So because I think for the right man, any woman is cooperative,
Damn.
right? Because there are certain men I will cooperate with because I respect them, and there's just certain men I won't because I don't, right? And
Mm.
that's how most women are. So it's not about trying to make a woman be cooperative. Find the woman that is cooperative with you. I think it would be like an easier
All right, so
great
situation.
that
point.
so I would
Great
agree
point.
with that 100%. So now, what would you give some attributes for a man to look for to know that that woman is going to be cooperative with him?
She doesn't question every single thing you do or say, right? Because a
Damn.
woman, if she got to question every little thing, that's letting you know she doesn't have confidence in your decision making. You've
Woo.
shown her something to where
Mm,
she does not have confidence in your choices.
mm.
So now she feels the need to micromanage you, right?
She preaching.
That might be one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Another one might be just like where she is. Like sometimes somebody's just not mature enough yet, or they're not there yet, and sometimes it might not have nothing to do with you. But either way, if you're finding all this tension in the beginning, or for men or women, and we've all done it. I've done it. I know better now. It's stupid to try to think you're going to be the person to change somebody. Like that's not
Mm,
going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And I think
damn.
we also need to be honest about this word submission. Yes, Submission has conditions for men and women. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Us men, we gotta submit to our women as well. So let's not get it twisted. It's not at the same level of how we talk about it as what the word is, but we do submit
Hey,
to our
Sharon.
women. We submit to our
Hey,
wives.
Sharon.
Yeah.
And you're right in that. But listen, how can you expect submission from a woman when you're not even submitted to a higher authority? You don't answer
That
to
part.
nobody. Where are
That
you getting
part.
your structure from?
A woman sees that too, Chicago Rilla. I think that goes, even though it needed to be said. I'm glad you said that. We need to stop assuming that people already know that, but they don't.
They
The
don't.
man has to be able to submit to a higher power himself. Period. It doesn't mean you have to walk around with a collar on and all that. That woman knows if you're submissive to a higher power. You don't have to be going around saying holding it now and all that. It's just how you comprise yourself. They know. So great point, Chicago Real. I'm not even lie.
I've been
Great
in
point.
spaces, Otis, where dudes are saying, I'm about to take it away from that. Who's that, Lee? I'm about to take it away from that, right? I've literally been in spaces where I asked these alpha dudes, right? Like, so who are you submitted to? Nobody. I'm my own man. I'm like, you don't, nobody? You don't yield to no authority?
At all?
Like, you don't have an OG, a big homie, a daddy? No, you
Nothing?
just you out here in the world?
This
And the
argument
woman's
is.
supposed
I
to
want to hear
submit
what
to
Lee
that?
talking about. I also want to hear what Lee got to say about
This
that.
argument
I
is-
definitely want to say. And before, let's welcome Lee into the show. Everybody, welcome Unlikely to the show, and he's
Good morning.
unlikely
Buenos
to agree
dias.
with
Buenos
us right
dias.
now. But also, that's right. Submission is conditional, and femininity is conditional. Yes, it's not just given to all men. Go ahead, Unlikely.
I just wanted to say that argument is
Damn.
kind of pointless because every human submits. If you don't believe me, jump in the air, and gravity gonna pull your ass right back down. We all submit. So this higher
Stop
power
taking it with
talk
it.
is
Horrible
just
example.
Stop it. Come on,
That
man.
was
Stop
a
it. Make a
horrible
stronger
example. You gotta
argument,
come
bro.
better.
No. It was a good argument. It was a good
No, it
argument.
wasn't.
I mean,
you
that
need to take a timeout and
Man,
rethink
bro.
that argument.
Yo,
No, that was a good
amount of
argument.
Rethink that
times,
argument because
the
that
amount of
means every
times
human.
I get cut off is absolutely ridiculous. Like it's crazy. Holy shit!
They don't respect Jersey, man. They don't
I'm a
respect
mute.
Jersey.
Go
I
ahead,
just
y'all
want
had
to
y'all
say the
show. I'm
woman
gonna just
didn't
say
do it. The woman didn't do it. I
Hold
just want
on,
to point that out.
let's let Unlikely talk about gravity. We also had a very interesting conversation about gravity on this channel before. People did not believe in gravity, but it was a wild conversation. Go ahead, Unlikely. Explain to us how gravity and submission is equal. You're on
Well,
mute.
I was just making an argument that the whole religious talk is kind of that's you get me? I was just making
Yeah.
I'm probably a little lagging right now because I'm in the backyard, but I was just making an argument that the whole religious talk to say like basically he got to submit to this higher power. So basically y'all trying to say he got to submit to some form of religion is the only way for a woman to follow him is it's kind of pointless
No.
because at the end of the day we all
For me, it
submit.
is.
We
So
all
this is
submit.
why,
Yeah,
this
but
is
Lee,
why you
that
get
wasn't-
cut off.
I don't want
I ain't gonna
Damn,
lie
I
to
can't
you,
never
Lee. This
finish,
is why
bro.
you get cut off. It's difficult. We was trying to, but nobody used religion as something to submit to. Otis clearly said a higher power, the way how you
Yeah,
walk
nobody
and how
said.
you talk. He did not use
What's
any
a higher
God, Allah,
power? What's a
higher
wait?
than
What's
you.
a,
It gotta be.
yo? They
Go ahead.
said higher
Can I explain it
power.
to you?
What?
Can I explain it to you?
Yo,
Hold on, I'm gonna make sure
hell
Chicago.
no.
I'm gonna make
That's
sure
your bite. You got
he
to.
can get because he think that we cut him off, and I apologize
Yeah,
for that.
it ain't
Unlikely.
even hard.
I apologize because
Yep.
also Chicago Rilla, he also explained, he said,
Yeah.
you mean you don't have an OG, you don't have a father,
Right.
you don't have a bigger brother. He gave you other examples of a higher power other than yourself, other than God. So
That's
go
a
ahead,
higher
Lee.
power now, big brother and all that. A higher power.
No, Lee,
because yo, hold
Lee.
on.
Go ahead.
A higher power
Go ahead,
must
Lee.
stand the test of time. It must be actually higher and holier than and greater than you. Gravity is greater than you. So if I can't use gravity, but you could use a big brother, which you could grow taller than, or dad that you could grow stronger than, and how is he still your higher power? Now, I just think maybe you could say you're using the wrong word, and that's the argument. If you say that, but when you say higher power, we will all think about
Yeah.
Religion, we will all think about that.
Yeah,
And
he's
in that
right.
situation, I'm saying the argument is pointless because I could just say gravity. We
So
all submit to gravity. Jump in the air.
Lee, Lee, did you hear me when I
Y'all all
said
wish I was
fair
Peter Pan
enough?
at one point. Jump in the air.
Did you hear me when I said, okay, let's take it away from that, right? And I interjected and I said, father, brother, big homie. The point of it is to be submission is being yielded to authority. And I've heard men say they don't yield to any authority. They don't submit to anyone. Right. So I understand ultimately what you're saying, but I'm saying take it away from religion and the point still stands. That woman wants to see how you follow. You want her to follow your lead. She's also looking to see how you follow. Is she
So
not?
now,
Wait, can I speak for women? Because I don't know about that.
There you go. Oh, okay.
Let
okay,
me let me to
go
agree
ahead.
with
Go ahead.
What about Venus, Scott?
to
Venus,
agree
if I
with.
could
Oh,
just
go
say
ahead.
this
Go
real
ahead.
quick,
Finish,
just
please.
two
Go ahead. I'm
seconds,
sorry.
Venus.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I read a ton of books. I don't need a big
Mm-hmm.
brother. The books are my big brother. I don't need a dad. The books are my dad. I can have many dads. I can have many mothers. I can have many aunts, so you know what I'm saying. Like this. Go ahead, Venus. That's all I
Perfect.
want to
That's
say.
perfectly. But that's what Chicago. He's saying take it out of the whole the religious world and say that you are
Right.
submitted to something that is higher than you. That you read a book. That you got somebody, and it's not a physical thing because you're saying you could physically grow taller than your big brother. No, but he's still your older brother. He got a little bit more wisdom. Hopefully, your father he still got wisdom. That wisdom will outpower muscle any day of the week. Go ahead, Venus.
Oh
Copy.
no, I was in agreement with Lee. When we hear higher power, we definitely think religion. I do, right? He was right about that. I also agree about reading the books, right? He's still seeking wisdom from people who are wiser
There
than
you
him.
go. Thank you.
So that still
Thank
that
you. I was
still
about to
was
say that. Thank
that
you.
would still qualify him. But Chicago, I guess the big brother father thing is problematic for me because your big brother or your father can also be pieces of shit. Like we've seen big brothers and fathers teach their sons the wrong thing, tell their son to sleep with a whole bunch of women, tell their or show be the bad example, and the son watches how they treat their mother, and then they grow up and they repeat those behaviors. So just because somebody is your brother or your father does not qualify them necessarily to be some type of authoritative figure over you. And my last point
What?
was for me, the
Mhm.
higher power matters. Personally, if a man doesn't even believe in God, I don't want nothing to do with him
So,
for the
Venus,
reasons
can
you
I ask
guys
you
are
this?
saying though.
Can I ask you this? So, if a woman sees that the big brother, father, homie is a piece of shit, and you're following the big brother, homie, because I'm not saying the big brother, the fact that you're a big brother qualifies you. The character matters, right? Integrity matters. Wouldn't the woman assess who you're following and qualify or assess you best based on that as well? It wouldn't that still be part of the equation?
No, that makes sense. But when you said she wants to see you follow people, it's like that was the part where I'm like,
No,
okay,
no, no.
yeah,
Maybe I should have worded it. She's assessing how and who you follow.
yeah, I agree.
Right.
Like
I
the
agree.
Right.
person, the person
Taking
that's
stuff too
standing with
literally.
the person that's standing with zero direction, zero instruction from anything or anyone, that's wild.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
that doesn't happen. So
I
that's
agree.
I'm rebutting against dudes that say I'm self-made. I'm me. I don't need nobody. I don't follow nobody. I don't submit to nobody. I don't. I'm alpha man. Okay, have fun with that.
Yeah.
That's all.
And, it,
I'm on
and
mute.
we clearly see that that does not work in mass for most men. Most men are not these goddamn superior leaders where they could just come out the womb leading a bunch of human beings. So you got to learn it, and you usually got to learn from somebody. The quickest way to being successful is getting a mentor. So therefore, that is the higher power. We are really talking about that. You need at least bare minimum a mentor of some sort, somebody that been through some things that you want to get to. So if it's marriage, you need to find somebody that's in a good, healthy marriage, somebody that's not telling you bullshit, that's opposite of what he is preaching. So he cannot be a married man and say, hey, son, go out there and, you can cheat a little bit, but make sure it's 2 towns over. Hey, that's probably not the person you want to be having a conversation with about marriage. I also want to welcome to the show, Miss Polly. Polly Wright. How you doing?
Hello. Hi, sir. How are you guys? I think I'm well.
Peace,
I'm
peace.
well.
How are you? How are you?
I'm well. Yes, yes, sir. You guys go on. I was just listening to what the rest of y'all was saying first.
No problem. So that's the thing. I think anybody that is claiming that they do everything by themselves and they don't need no help, they don't need no mentor. That's usually somebody that's in a lot of pain, and you are going to suffer in that relationship from his pain. And we are starting to see it shape out more and more on these spaces. These men are full of pain. I don't know where their pain came from. Some of them we already discussed that it might possibly came from their mother. It could have came from their father, or it could have came from their high school sweetheart when they was looking all weird and funny and out of shape with their teeth bigger than their goddamn head. And that's why they got turned down by this woman of their dreams. And then when they got older, that same said woman looks like unlikely, and now they upset.
I know, but so what's wrong with pain though? It's part of life. We all go through pain. Why people want to avoid this shit?
Because most men are
people
not.
don't understand that. They think they. You see how you have the understanding that in life we will all go through pain. In life we will all be rejected at some point. That goes for everybody in different ways, right? Maybe it
Right.
won't be your looks, but it might be your skill set. It might be what we all have to experience certain lessons in life. Everybody. But the people who don't understand that, they take it personal and then they feel like the world has to pay for the shit we all go through. We all go through that. You're not special.
Okay, I do agree with that one.
Absolutely. And
I teach my kids, don't waste your pain. You suffering right now, don't waste it. Learn it, keep it, and you do better. Wipe the
It's
knee
supposed to
off,
make you better.
put that band-aid on it. Yes.
And also, I want to also, so as we move into this thing of honesty and everything, so why do men, most men, when we hear them, they say they cannot be honest with a woman because once they be honest with a woman, that woman now would take advantage and use that honesty against them. So this
The
is the
wrong
reason
woman
why
would.
most men say they are afraid to be vulnerable with their mate because that
You
woman,
just say that? You said a man says that?
yes.
Okay.
What's your thoughts? Can you be
Again.
vulnerable? Oh, well,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, of course. I mean, again,
I would
coming
go
from
out to
my
Otis
experience,
if nobody else.
coming from my experience, my women that came out so wrong. Wife, please don't. That was a slip. My current wife and my previous relationship that I was in prior to my marriage, I had no issue with telling them any and everything. Period. I really don't. Some women that I dated, of course, you know who you could talk to. You know that woman would take what you said and run with it and use it and hold it against you and use it to their benefit. You know that. Again, it all boils down to what you are willing to accept to get that punani at that time.
Damn.
Period. We
So-
know what we're doing.
So, do you think that
We know.
men should be vulnerable with the woman that they choose? You've been with this woman for let's give it
married,
some
yes, you
conversation.
should. The woman that you married, yes.
So until you marry this woman, you should hold all vulnerability.
Correct. That's what I believe. Yes, you only be vulnerable to the woman that you are committed to and married to. To death do you part.
Wait,
Not
what?
to our traditionalists, but that's how I feel. Yes.
Wait, so the
and of
whole
course, you know
time,
your mother, obviously.
so the whole time you're with her, dating, engaged, you're saying no vulnerability, and then all of a sudden you're gonna spring this on her when you're married?
Dating, yes,
Good
because
question.
while I'm dating you, I'm still trying to figure you out. I'm hanging around you. I'm hanging around your friends. I'm hanging around your relatives. I'm hanging around to see who's the alcoholic. I'm hanging around to see who's the a freaky niece or the freaky auntie or who's the potential pedophile. I'm looking at all that. I'm looking at the Labor
No,
Day
that's
gathering
not what I
in the
asked you though.
backyard.
I asked you about vulnerability, right?
That's
You
part of
said-
that's part of. You got to assess that. You don't want to be vulnerable to anything or anyone. To me,
My
to me,
issue
that's
is
a
you're
big part.
saying my issue with what you're saying is this. If you've never been vulnerable with this woman and somehow you got her to marry you, how do you even know she can handle your vulnerability? You before marriage. How do you know that?
As time progresses, the first 1 or 2 times that she shows me that she's not right for me or vice versa, we stop dating. So therefore, I don't have any emotional ties or bonds to her. The longer I date you, the longer I'm considering being with you, the more I'm going to open up organically.
So you
But
will
prior
be
to that-
vulnerable. So you will be vulnerable before marriage then.
Now, see, I hate these type of conversations.
It's very nuanced.
Hear me out. We're having a macro conversation, a macro. but someone always tries to turn it into a micro.
Wait, no, sir. We could take it off of you. Okay? You're putting out into the universe, don't be vulnerable with a woman until marriage. So as a
Correct.
woman, I'm saying that
Mm,
makes no sense, right? So
mm.
then you're telling people wait till they're locked in completely with somebody and then be vulnerable. So then if she uses his vulnerability against him and throws it in his face when he's married, now he really can't go nowhere or it's much harder. So I don't understand what you're saying.
I
Okay,
agree
let
with
me.
her.
Okay, you do. Okay, well maybe, and you. Okay, there's two people that disagree with what I said. That's fine. So let me try to use the right words without changing my thought
Stance.
process or changing my value, because I still believe what I said. Let me change it to make it make sense. Of course, the longer you are dating someone or seeing someone, you're going to be relaxed. The longer you with them. Do agree with that? Correct.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if that person is showing you something that but makes you feel that you're going to continue to be with them, of course you're going to be more relaxed. The first time they show you something that goes against your values, you're going to cut it off. So my point is, yes, to your point, yes, you're going to be vulnerable to a certain extent, but not every. Now you're not going to let it all the way out. I say this: I'm not going to cry in front of you. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to show you that something is really, really, really messing with me when I can let you know that, versus when we're married, I will cry in front of you. I will bring you into the room and we'll hold hands and we're going to be spiritually and all that. But prior to that, I'm not going to do that because I want to make sure you're the one. So we're basically saying the same thing, but I get what you're saying. So I get it.
I just want to say real quick that we are
Also likely.
already based off of the definition of vulnerability. The moment you lay down, you close your eyes, and you go to sleep right next to her, you're being vulnerable,
Mm.
right? You're
That's
showing a
It's
state of
that's a
true.
tricky one.
yeah. I mean, god damn, yeah. You guys be like so tough that you guys got to say don't be vulnerable, but you're already being vulnerable. When you go to her house, you're being vulnerable. You're open. Look up the word. It's opening yourself up to an attack emotionally or physically.
Hmm.
And once you're in a vicinity where you're not comfortable with, and you're with a woman, you're vulnerable. It's just, and you would understand if it was a man that, but since it's a woman, you think but it's the truth. So I think you should definitely be vulnerable emotionally with with the woman. I think a lot of times men aren't vulnerable. They only
Mm.
they only be vulnerable physically. Damn, this dude in the back. But they only vulnerable physically because they know it can possibly lead to sex.
Mm.
They know they don't have to be vulnerable emotionally because that could possibly lead to hurt. That could possibly lead to me, opening up feelings that I probably got, like
Damn, your
Sharon
internet
said,
got you vulnerable.
the high school sweetheart that broke my heart. Sorry, that's hilarious. Let me go in the house. Hold up.
But yeah, so I think what Otis said, I think he remixed it, so is definitely more palpable. So he's saying that yes, you gotta slow, because what he remixed it from is that you only could be vulnerable to the person that you marry, to you gotta slowly release vulnerability in stages. And then once you get married, you can release all of your vulnerability to your woman because now you know she's down for you, is what he remixed it to say. And I think we
Please
can
tell
all
me I
agree with
understand what
that.
I was saying. Please, I don't want to sound crazy. Tell me I understood what I was saying.
Now
You
I
know,
think I think I think as you explained it the second time, I think we get it because to Venus' point is that like you cannot, if you was to hold on all of your stress before marriage and then now you release all this is like a new human being to this woman now when you get
I
married, when you
definitely get
just
her
release
point.
all of your
I get it.
vulnerability. She's like, who the fuck did I marry? Then now you turn to she turns
And
into Reese
I agree
Witherspoon.
with her. I definitely agree with what she's saying. But I just want to make sure y'all understood what I was saying. I'm not flip flopping, but I just
No,
wanted to make sure y'all understood what I was saying. But I definitely agree with what.
because you more
uh
saying that vulnerability to be in doses, it to
Yes,
slowly drip.
I get it. Yep. Yes, sir.
Go ahead,
I
Can
know,
Venus.
I
but what
can I
she's saying,
add
it sounds dishonest. What she's saying, it sounds
Yes,
dishonest.
yes, it
me?
sounded dishonest at first. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Venus.
sorry,
Wait,
Venus.
sorry. Go ahead, Lamar. What I said sound dishonest?
No, 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 no. What he said.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, that's not good advice. Like, wait, but we understand you now. But I wanted to add on what Unlikely was saying about vulnerability. Right. This is just again one of my theories. I think that because men try so hard not to be vulnerable is why part of, not all, part of why some relationships are in the state they're in. Like if you part of you being vulnerable allows you and a person to really connect and have a real bond. So if you're in these relationships with this wall up, nobody can really get close to you. Nobody can really emotionally connect with you. And then you're wondering
Great point.
why all the relationships go nowhere.
Mm.
I think that's part of why.
Can I ask you a question, Venus?
Yes.
And just
Absolutely.
speaking in generalities, I know you don't do this, but in generalities, do you know a woman? Can you touch a female? Touch a female that believes in her heart that if a man is being too vulnerable, quote unquote, too sensitive, that she doesn't want him? Have you experienced that?
Oh
Because
yeah,
that's why men.
I'm the same way, but notice you said two, right?
Okay.
There is a
Yes.
limit. You
Yes.
can't there are times to be vulnerable and then there's times where it could be like, okay, this is excessive. There's a balance. But I'm speaking to the people who do not want to be vulnerable. Vulnerability doesn't mean you got to break down and cry. It
Hmm.
could just
Mm.
mean being honest about how things make you feel. You know what she
Exactly.
did hurt your feelings, but you're too
Hmm.
much of a man to say, "Hey, this hurt me when you did that," so that she
Mm.
can understand and she can adapt and do better. So you won't say anything because you think it makes you look weak, and then you'll let her pile up all these offenses against you. She has no idea she's doing it. Now you hate her. But it happened because you won't be vulnerable, so you won't admit how things make you feel. So it
Mm.
doesn't mean you gotta cry and do all this other stuff, but
Hmm.
people won't even acknowledge when they're hurt. They'll just
Woo.
let you keep hurting them and hurting them and hurting them, and now they hate your ass, and you don't know why they hate you.
I'm
and
glad you
and I
said
Exactly.
that part
also
about
and I
that.
also want to say
Yeah.
that like those are two different words, and we gotta be careful with that as well, right? Vulnerability and sensitive. Nobody wants a sensitive man. Right,
Exactly.
that's not what they want. They don't
That's
want
a
you like
fact.
every time something happens, you just break down and cry because you cannot come out of something, right? Like, damn, you lost your job, you cry. Oh, damn, like if death happens, every human being is gonna understand you crying. But if you got cursed out by your boss, you come and cry like, man, I did my best and he cursed me, and you too sensitive to everything that's around you. That's going to be an issue. That's not being
Right.
vulnerable. That's being sensitive. And nobody
Right.
want a sensitive person, period. A lot of men came and deal with women crying. And they just break down and cry for every situation. Every time you raise your voice, she breaks down and cry. A lot of men can't even deal with that. That's because I believe they're not dealing their masculinity. And that's why they can't deal, because femininity comes with a lot of emotions. And sometimes they are going to cry over the littlest thing. They'll watch a 30-second goddamn commercial, break down and cry. What happened, babe?
Hey man, Jody, she said, "I cry for you. Damn it, I cry for you."
Goddamn.
I'm not
Right.
down with that. Hey,
Welcome to the show, the beautiful and always honest HQ. How you doing?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Oh
can hear
snap!
you.
Hey, what's
Uh-oh.
up?
You sound a
uh,
little muffled though, a little muffled.
hey, Sharon, I would talk about the
Yeah,
honesty
you gotta
there right
take your
quick.
All
COVID
right, I
mask
got you.
off.
And then right after HQ, Lamar Black Attacks want to be honest and say how much he cry almost every other day to his woman. Go ahead, HQ.
Okay. You remember the other day I was talking to you regarding that armor that men have on and they won't take it off. This is what we're talking about right here.
Mm,
When you're not capable or you're not wanting to take that armor off and let that woman see what's inside. That's why relationships right now are very difficult because men want to be stoic and then they don't want to show or express their feelings to their woman. And then but they want submission. See, I'm one of those people that believe submission from a woman is the same thing as that man opening up his armor. He's unwilling to open up that armor. She 9 times out of 10 will not be submissive like he wants her to be. A lot of men force submission. Forced submission is not really submission.
mm,
It's a woman pretending. Okay, submission comes from trust and a worthy human being that she submits to. Now, if she doesn't know that you're a worthy human being, the only way for her to know, if she doesn't feel you're a worthy human being, the best way to show her you're a worthy human being is that you have feelings or you're vulnerable to her. And if you are not willing to show her that you're vulnerable to her, you can't expect her to have submission.
mm. Dang.
It's great we have women on this panel because we
Oh, man.
need to hear their side. I like hearing that. Seriously, I got it.
And you know, this is the beauty of it, right? We do have, even though they would try to say that these women are not, for whatever reason, that these women are very feminine. They ain't distribute any kind of masculinity throughout this whole show. But if you get them angry, they would use that anger and say, "Oh, see, I knew yo." Nah, anger is anger. We all have that emotion in us. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Just because a woman is angry and she raised her voice, or she's even so-called challenging your thoughts with logic, because men and women have logic. It's not a gender-based thing, logic or being logistic. It's okay, because it's a difference. And Otis put this so beautifully one day. He said it's a difference between having questions and
being questioned. Yep. And I love that Venus had brought that up to fruition today when she so eloquently explained herself. She understands that we might not agree on everything. That's fine. That's what makes this world beautiful. I love that. But the common ground, the common denominator is there. And I love that. Man, we could work out everything else.
Go ahead, Lamar Black Attack. I know you wanted to jump in. Thank you for your patience, Lamar. Go ahead. Tell us how you are. Tell us how you are so vulnerable that you cry every other day when just the sun comes up, because it's so beautiful.
Look at him.
Hey, I'm going back to honesty, okay? And you're all right. Sometimes I'm out in the wilderness in the mountains, I do feel like I want to cry because it's so beautiful. But the honesty part, most people are lying about honesty. Why would you do that? If you lying to Becky, you walk into the hall, and Becky smile at you, you smile at her, you tell her that you're available, but you're not available. So why would you lie to? Why would you not lie to your wife? She gained 10 pounds. You will look in her face and say, "Oh, you gained 10 pounds." No, you're not. You say, "I love you. You okay? You good, sweetie?" There she is.
I don't know about that one, Lamar.
The 10 pounds in the right spots. You ain't gonna say shit. That's my opinion. You ain't gonna say nothing.
Shout out Hink, the basement. I feel like Lamar looks like an older Kasim. God damn.
It's because I am older.
About to be a situation.
Uh-oh, he's coming for the smoke. Hink, the basement. HQ is lying. She's telling all the man business. Is that true, HQ? You telling all the man's business?
I'm not crying in front of my wife or my family. I'm the leader. What I'm be crying for? I cry in the bathroom, the car. I go for a walk and cry. Why the hell I'm be crying in front of my family? Oh my God, Jesus wins, baby. I lost. Come on, dude.
I didn't say cry.
They made sunglasses for your ass to cry. Come on.
You didn't say cry.
You can always, before HQ go, you can always go outside in the rain. Y'all know how the song go. I want to go outside in the rain. Whatever. Showing my age. Go ahead, HQ.
I didn't say cry. That's not what I said.
Okay. HQ, I'm joking, okay? You got to learn it. Like Otis got to learn the panel, you got to learn the panel. Some people just joking. I'm just joking with you.
Oh, okay. Vulnerability.
We got to make it clear. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to say this because every time the word vulnerable comes up, men say cry. Mm-hmm. Vulnerability does not mean cry. Y'all got to get that straight. It doesn't mean that.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Well, I want to jump in right there before HQ go. It's just so important. Like that's how different men and women think. When we think of vulnerability, we think in crying. We think of weakness. This is why most men, when they hear the word vulnerability, it triggers a thought pattern like, no, I cannot be weak. I cannot be sensitive. And it is very clear and distinct that when we have this word come up, men and women look at it completely different. It's miles apart. Women look at the word vulnerability like you being honest with them, and I know your true feelings. I know how you actually feel about me, and your true intentions about me. That's what women think when they hear a man being vulnerable to. But when we hear it, we hear weakness. I do not want to look weak.
Every man is vulnerable because when you fall asleep by your woman, when you fall asleep in your woman lap,
Woo, yes.
That's
I
it.
think that is I think that was very key that what Venus said. And this is why we do gotta have multiple different personalities and different ideologies and different genders on the
And we need
panels.
to get this, and we need to get this video out and share it, because I'm serious. We joke a lot and we let a lot of important things that was said go by so quick. You heard it from a female, two females. And Venus broke it down so eloquently, not a man's version, a female version. Being vulnerable does not mean crying. But you heard from a man that we think that. So if you heard it from a woman that tells you, she telling us, and I don't know what the demographics are within your audience, but if there's men in the chat and watching this, you just heard from a woman that vulnerability has nothing to do with crying. So we have to accept that and stop putting our own definitions on what we think it is onto a woman when they clearly tells you what it is. It goes both ways now, women. It goes both ways. But for today, we're going to stick with the vulnerability word. They told you it's not synonymous with crying. So we got to internalize that. I just don't
Oh
want
wait,
that
can I address the both ways? Because somebody in the chat said that earlier, and I agree. Women do it too. This is not exclusive to men. Right. Like women are scared to be vulnerable too because they were hurt before. Right. So it goes both ways, but I still would say the same thing. If you won't be vulnerable with someone, how can they connect with you and have a real bond? Either way, it still causes a problem.
I want to dive into that if HQ don't mind, because I know the super chat was towards us. So I want to HQ. You want to? So I kind of want to switch shift with what Venus just said. But would you like to answer that super chat, or you want to just move the conversation forward? It's up to you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Did somebody send a super chat to me? I wasn't looking.
Yes, your brother Hank, the basement. He says, HQ, you're lying. You're gonna tell all the man's business, is what he said.
I'm not trying to tell all the man's business. I'm saying, think about what Venus just said. Vulnerability to a woman, that vulnerability to a man. It means expressing your innermost thoughts to another human being and wanting to have the best outcome come from doing that, right? So I liken this taking the shell off or taking the armor off the same as I do submission. You want to have the most vulnerable part of me submit to you as a female. You want me to lay all of my cards on the table. You want me to put my swords down. You want me to put my rah-rah down. You want me to do all of that. And that's submission. But you don't want me to continue to have submission every day, all throughout the day. I have to live. I have to be human. I have to have a shell. So otherwise, I'm hurt all the time. It's the same thing with men. I'm not saying keep your shell off all the time. I'm not saying every time you turn around and look at me, you screaming, I love you, I love you, I love you. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you continue to keep the armor on and you don't express your innermost feelings to me, I really don't know what type of human being you are. I really don't know what type of human being I'm going to get if I run into a situation, right? So I say taking that shell off and being vulnerable is a component that a woman needs in order for her to actually submit as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect right there. So I think also an old saying is that when you walk inside a house, take off your hat and your helmet. It really came from a stance of war, and that's also a sign of vulnerability. Is why they told you to take. It was a sign that you're not bringing the outside war within your household. You don't want to bring war into your house. That's why they say take off your hat. It turned into a hat, but originally it started with a form of chivalry that you take off your war helmet before you walk inside the house because you do not want to bring war into your household. So that's the same thing. Take off your goddamn armor when you walk through the door. Give your kids a hug and a kiss. Don't bring all the issues and problems that you had at work or in life and all that and put it on to your family. When you come home, it's that really good, famous thing, but I think it was I forget his name right now, it's missing my mind, but we all know the video that we seen when he says, yes, I lied to my boss, I lied to the people outside, but when I come home, I'll be honest with you. And she said, no.
Nikki Giovanni and
there you go.
James Baldwin.
James,
Nikki Giovanni
yes.
and James Baldwin.
And she said
Yeah,
what?
that's a great dialogue. She
Did she
said,
say
"Lie
what,
to
Sharon?
me, lie
Yes,
to
that's what
me
I'm
like you
talking
lie to
about.
that white man." Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
I
but
heard it. I remember that.
So,
but
what
Lamar, do
really
you
what
remember that discussion? What
right?
she
Because
was
that's what we're
asking
gonna
for
really
is
dig down.
exactly
Because
what the
she did
sisters are
say
saying.
lie
Yeah,
to me.
that's a good.
Mm-hmm.
She
But
did say
that's not
lie
what
to
she
me, but
meant, though.
that's not what she meant. Correct.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Chicago Real. Break it down from how you
It was
yeah.
a
said it.
good. It was a
Because
What
I
good
she
build.
also
was
want to get
saying,
I want to get Brownsville, New York in right after. Go ahead, the Chicago Rilla. Break
I'll make it
that
short.
conversation down.
Yeah, I'll make it short, and I suggest everybody watch it, and take away from it what you will. Right? What she was asking him is exactly what the sisters are saying is for him to be vulnerable. So she was saying, don't go out there and put on a show for them, and then come here and take out all your frustrations on me. And then
Right.
he was like, then he was like, well, I can't lie to you, right? So he was justifying his actions, which could be considered abusive, I guess, in this day.
Yes.
But he was justifying that. She said, no. If that's the case, if that's the way you look at it, she did say the words "lie to me," but she was saying if that's the way you're interpreting, she was actually meeting him at his level, and then she's
Right.
like, no, you must lie to me. Then, yeah, she was meeting him where he was so that he could understand. Like, yo, she basically was asking for that man to be vulnerable and exposed. She wanted the best parts of him for herself, which he would not submit because he had to be out there fighting them people all day.
Yes.
Right.
And
And to your point, Sharon, she didn't want him bringing that in the house. It's a very good dialogue. Nikki Giovanni and James
She did
Baldwin.
not want you to bring all that tension and all that anger because you was outside.
Yes,
you
sir.
treating those people outside of a household better than you treating people that actually
Exactly.
love you. That was the
No.
real issue. And the reason why she used lying, she was just trying to break it down and have the conversation, right? It wasn't really her saying lie to me. That's not what
Be
she
nice
really
to them.
was
Be
saying.
nice to me. That's what
Right.
she said.
No,
So,
Right.
you know,
I
Be good
think
to them.
I think a simpler way to explain it, from what he said was, when you walk out the door, you put on a facade, you put on that shell, you put on that mask for everybody else outside. But when you come home, I want you to take that mask off. And a lot of men don't want to take that mask off when they come in the door. They want to keep it on 24/7. And women are
right.
sick
And
of it.
so and I think it's very clear. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation about honesty and that being who you are should be 100% good enough for the world. You need to just be working on yourself every single day, presenting your honest self. So therefore, when you walk in and out your door, you are always 100 authentically yourself. And this way, your family is going to get 100% of who you are. And also the world is going to get 100% of you. And who you are is good enough for the world. And if it's not good for said person, then leave them where they lay.
I
That's a very
disagree
good
with that.
point.
I disagree.
Go ahead. Let me explain. Explain to me why you disagree, beautiful.
Because even Chicago Rilla's interpretation, just I guess I have a slightly different one, right? Of that clip. When she's saying lie to me, it's like you'll go to work and put a smile on your face whether you want to or not. You'll go to work and be cooperative whether you want to or not. Why don't I get some of that? Right? So I think, yeah, lie to me was right. You're at work lying. You're at work pretending to feel pleasant even when you're not, but you know how to act pleasant whether you want to or not. But when you come here, you don't know how to like control yourself and be pleasant to me even if you don't feel like it. Um, and so to flip it around, why I disagree, Sharon, is because let's say I'm a woman, I'm emotional, I got all types of problems. If you're my man, do you really want to hear that shit every day? No, you don't. So sometimes I might come in the house and you say, "How are you?" And I'm just going to say, "I'm good. How was your day?" I don't think every single day I need to be just spilling all my problems all over you. That is also me trying to make the environment pleasant for both of us. So is that me being fake or not being myself? Because even though maybe it's a whole bunch of shit going on, I don't feel like you need to hear about it every single day.
That's why everybody a little
Venus.
different. That's why I said what I said.
Wait,
That's
Venus, do you think, because I think we just said the same thing, but
Right.
I get it. It may read different. But do you think she was saying deceive me?
She said, "Be kind to me, like you be kind to those people outside."
Right. Yeah. She said you do it for them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I only saw the clips from what I saw. In a way, if somebody says lie to me, yeah, that's what they're saying.
Oh, no. You should watch the whole thing. No, it was
Yeah.
a very good
And she was
conversation.
being sarcastic. She was basically being sarcastic, but her point was to combat what you're saying, Venus. and it's going to come out so chauvinistic, but again, that's the difference between macro and micro. If I'm at work and I have to kiss the boss ass, put on this face, do what we do, we know how it go. When I come home, I shouldn't have to do that. I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to do that. I should be me. With that being said, on the other end, in my experience, in my opinion, your spouse should be able to accommodate and recognize that you're at work. You have to put on the facade. You have to kiss, quote unquote, I hate that word, ass. You got to work. So when you come home, help me decompress, whatever that may be. Each home is different. I see Sharon having a fit over there because she's finna be Captain Abram. I get it. But in mine, what I'm saying is, might coming out wrong. When I come home, I want to decompress. And it's up to my spouse.
That's where we missed it.
Decompress.
Otis, that's where we missing it though. And I'm glad we having this conversation.
Okay.
This is actually a key unlock for me. That's where the old heads got it wrong for us. They taught us that. The boomers taught us that. The silent generation taught us that, right? That's absolutely wrong. What Sharon was saying was absolutely correct. When you go outside, you should be the same way. If you shouldn't have to kiss no ass at the job. If you're gonna act one way at the job, if that's who you are, then be who you are. But don't put on no faking and fronting at the job and then come to the crib and then expect me to help decompress all the shit that that's wild what we asking of our women in that moment. No, be authentically you. And the reason why it's an unlock for me, because the company that I work for, I don't have to code switch. I show up as my authentic self day in and day out. And I don't have to bring stuff and leftovers from the job for me having to fight one battle on that end and show up and put that at my woman's feet and tell her to help me decompress. That's the part the OGs got wrong for us. We should be showing up authentically as ourselves wherever we're at.
Yeah, kissing ass is wild. No.
Okay, let's take the kissing ass
being
part out.
respectful is one thing, but kissing ass, no.
No, I know exactly what you're saying, Otis, because I'll be 50 this year, right? So in that era that I grew up in, and my mom, my uncles, and my grandma, and my granddad, and them, that's what you had to do. I'm saying for this generation, these shorties that I hire, yeah, they not going, fam. They showing up exactly as they are.
I get what you're saying.
Ass.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The word, yes. It's the word play. The kissing. What I'm saying is, let's talk about, again, let's start a baseline. I work from home. I'm self-employed. A lot of people not in my position. I'm talking about those that got to get up at whatever time in the morning, go to work, not kiss ass, but put on a different facade. I hear what Sharon is saying, but come on now. You can't go work on that assembly line or whatever type of office job you have, whatever, and be who you really authentically want to be in most situations. That's all I'm saying. So when you get tired at work, you should be able to come home and have your spouse help you decompress, whatever that decompression routine is.
What does that look? What does that look like? Because like somebody said in the chat, that could look like abuse. Right. Like somebody said in the chat, that could look like abuse. That could look like you've endured hell all day, and now you want to come home and take that shit out on somebody.
No, you're taking my work. I just said, come home and decompress.
And I'm asking, what does that look like?
Okay, I got you. In my situation, in my ideal life, that happens. When I come home from a hard day of work, I don't want to come home to a lot of situations. Hey, should you take the trash out? I asked you to take the trash out this morning. You easily could have grabbed that, or whatever that may be. I want to decompress. Whatever in my mind, in my household, whatever that is, not being nagged on, not having been bombarded with a lot of questions and issues that need to be taking place in the house. Let me decompress for a minute. If you know I like coffee or my Corona when I come home, have the beer ready for me. So let me drink my beer, let me smoke my blunt, and when I get that in my system, now I'm able to do what I need to do within the household while you was doing what you was doing. That's what it looks like in my household.
You see where it keeps coming back to? That's why I was saying, think about what we asking of our. I hear you, like I'm with you, bro. I promise you, but think about what we asking of our women when we say that. I know exactly what you're saying, And I understand what Venus saying, like it could be interpreted as abuse. So, but he's not talking about it in the form of abuse. But think
Right.
about what you asking of your woman, though. You know what I
Think
mean?
of,
Like
yeah.
when you
Wait.
watch
Y'all
the
know abuse
replay, it's gonna sound
doesn't.
wild.
Wait, y'all know abuse just doesn't mean putting your hands on somebody. Y'all do understand that,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So
I'm not
again,
talking about
yeah, I
if
know
emotional
that's
if
either.
verbal abuse, financial abuse,
Emotional,
mental
verbal,
abuse,
all that.
spiritual
Yeah.
abuse. We
so
know all the abuses. Yeah,
so when Sharon, because I agree with Sharon, because I've seen it a lot, especially with black people. What Sharon said earlier, they treat people outside of the home better and
better.
nicer
Yep,
than they treat people
yep.
in the home. So again, what does decompression really look like? You go outside, you treat people with respect, you're pleasant to them, you have patience for them, you are understanding to them, then you come home and treat the people who actually care about you like shit.
That's
Are you
true.
not
I
being
get what you say.
abusive?
I'm not saying that, but I get what I see how that happens. I know it happens, but I'm not saying that. I'm pretty sure Chicago Gorilla understands what I'm saying. I know you do to a certain degree. You're just stating the other side of what could happen. I understand what you're saying, but I promise you, I'm not saying that. Everyone decompression situation looks different within their own household. And I'm just being
So
honest
just
about mine. It's not abusive, none whatsoever. And it
okay,
is a give and take.
so just to be clear, because I don't want you to feel personally attacked. I know you say you're new to panels. So when you're speaking, just know I'm always talking about your point and never about you. But it's more
Okay.
for like so the audience can just be clear, because I think we understand what you're trying to say, but sometimes it might come out like, okay, wait, I gotta challenge that so we can get clarity,
And I like
right?
that, Venus.
So
I
that's
promise
all.
you we're fine. That's helping me get more precise in what I'm trying to say and be accurate with my words. So what you're saying, I take it in as all positive. So I like this dialogue. Trust me, I get it. I'm 53. I'm not no young. I get it.
Go ahead,
So I
Lamar.
appreciate you.
And let me jump in this. Hey, Mr. Otis, what you're saying is basic male psychology. We could teach that to our children. This how males, they go to their cave and stuff like that. That's teachable. However, you can't come to home and expect your wife to know that. Your wife is not your therapist. She not. She not. My wife is not here to fix me. I'm already fixed. If I need to get fixed, I need to go somewhere else where they have more professional. They skilled at. They got education. So if I need my wife, I'm sorry. If I need my wife to let me calm down for a moment, I need to tell her, hey, when I come home, I need to calm down. Man, let me watch a movie. Let me drink something. Let me calm down. But that's teachable. But she not automatically going to know that. You know what I'm saying? But if I be nice to the people outside of my house, I got to be nice to everybody inside of my house. Those people outside of my house, I don't give a F about. But my family, I care about them more. So it's a higher priority. You got to have a priority system, like Benjamin Franklin said. Make a priority system, and you go down that list. You say, okay, this person is more important to me than some asshole. And what Chicago Real is saying, yes, it's time for us to be ourselves everywhere we go. On my job, I'm no more. Period. Don't like me, fire me. They can't because I'm high educated.
Absolutely. I think the code switching, it needs to be debunked. That is remedial rhetoric. Code switching is not good for your psyche, because you could get confused about which one is your authentic self, and sometimes those realities could clash with
Persona.
each other. It is not good psychologically to have a code switching mentality. You need to be authentically yourself. You being who you are is good enough for the world, and if people do not accept that, then they have to deal with that as we move forward. Also, I want to say is that we had reviewed a video on this channel. It was really good. So what happened was, this lady, right? They're a married couple. And so every day her husband comes home at a certain time. And on this day, he was running late. They eat dinner together as a family. And so on this day, he was already 20 minutes late. No phone call, no nothing. And she was starting to get anxiety and saying, like, where the fuck is my man? She's ready to call him and curse him out. And she like, when he walks through that door, he gonna be known that I was fucking angry and upset that he's missing dinner. He's messing up the floor of the house. And she said when she had that thought, something came over and said, hey, you don't know what he's going through. You have a choice to meet your husband with either life, or you could meet him with a knife. And she took that as, when she got that thought in her mind, is that when he opened up that door, you can either give him all that energy that you feel of anxiety and not know where he's at and being scared, or you could just give him a hug and show him love and say how much you miss him. And she said now her anxiety is building because now she hear the keys jingling. She see them pull up in the driveway and he's turning that door, and she had to make a decision. When that door opened up, she gave him a hug. She decided to choose life. She gave him a hug and said, baby, we miss you over here. I'm glad to see you home. We love you. And he broke down and almost cried and said, let me tell you about my day.
Damn. You just said something. Yes. And that's, thank you.
Woo! And
Listen,
I thought that story was so powerful that you can make a clear decision. And both of them was able to be vulnerable at that time. Like her just choosing to be welcoming and allow her husband to be welcomed into the household because he was going through whatever he's going to do. He broke it down, say he was on the phone the whole time on the way home. Things happen, right? Flat tire, all these type of things. And when that happened, she realized, like, man, that little decision made our marriage so much stronger.
And that is
and
so
people
true.
gotta hear that. Yeah. They gotta hear that. That is a really good understanding that women, you have the choice of breathing life into your man. You really do. And men, when we do get that life from our woman, we gotta accept it. I also want to bring Brownsville, New York into the conversation. After Brownsville, New York, we want to go PH Diva. Go ahead, Brownsville, New York.
Yo, peace and love, cuzzo. Can you hear me?
Yes.
First, man, let me take my shoes off at the door. Peace and love to all the kings on the panel. But specifically, peace and love to the queens. Queen Venus. That was very insightful this morning. I appreciate all your insight this morning. Queen, Heathen Queen, always insightful as well. Miss Polly, I see you out there getting to that bag, so that's good to see. And the Supreme Goddess, good to see you this morning, PH Diva. Peace and love to the chat room as well, and all the listeners. I hope everybody is filled with joy this morning and in a positive mind space and getting to that productivity, getting to that bag this morning, this Wednesday morning. First of all, I want to say this, right? When it comes to vulnerability, what we have to understand is there's two types of vulnerability, right? So there's vulnerability when we have to go out into the world, right, and fight to be productive. If we show vulnerability out in the real world, that's considered weakness, right? Because as men, we got to put that force field on and we got to go get to that bag, go get to that education, go get to whatever we need to get to in order to come back home, you know what I'm saying, and provide for our family, right? But that same vulnerability that's a weakness on the outside, on the inside, it's a strength, right? Because our family, not just our wife, but our kids also, they need to be able to crack that shell, to penetrate our force field, to receive that love, to receive that peace, to receive that joy that we have as men within us. They need to feel that masculine love, that masculine peace, that masculine joy that only a man can provide, right? That is a strength to be vulnerable with your family. And it should not take any decompression time, right? You need to decompress before you even enter the house.
Wow.
Decompress on the ride home. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring any of that mess inside of your house, right? Because when you bring that mess inside of your house, what you're doing is you're creating a strenuous environment into your family, and you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just telling you from experience. You know what I'm saying? Because when I go to work, I deal with a lot of stress every single day. It's a lot of things that I see that could be very, very stressful, right? Out of camp, on the way home, on my travels back home, before I get to the house, I'm releasing all of that stress and I'm letting that force field down. And now I can extend peace and love to my house because as a man, that is our duty to provide that to our household, right?
Stop it.
And then on the other topic, hey, Otis, check this out, man. PH Diva gonna handle you. You know she got that rear naked choke for you. You know what I'm saying? And all I gotta do is say PH Diva go get him, and she gonna take care of that. So if I was you, I would relax. You know what I'm saying? Calm down because you don't want none of that PH Diva smoke.
We got Venus gonna get him too. He just don't know.
Yeah.
talking so the women can keep loving you. Dude, stop it. So let me ask you a serious question.
Go ahead,
Serious question. You mean to tell me you honestly decompress 100% all the way before you come home? There's not an ounce of little left over, and your spouse, the woman that loves you, that knows your inner soul, doesn't know how to help to release that rest of that from helping you decompress? Come on, man.
He can do it in his car.
Before he answers, hold on, before
He can
you
do it in
answer,
his car.
hold
I
on,
believe him.
before you answer, hey babe, have I ever brought in any kind of stress from outside the house into our household as we've been together? Say it louder so they can hear you, please. No, you haven't. Have I ever had to come through the door and say, babe, do I need to decompress before I speak to y'all?
You
never happened. Not one time in my life.
Y'all and y'all 1 in a million. Y'all 2 in a million.
I understand that y'all gonna say it's anecdotal and that we are some superhumans. It must be maybe it's a Bracy thing. I don't know. But what I'm saying is this, that it is.
I'm so happy when I get out for it.
And we can teach our young men how to deal with it, because if you authentically yourself, you will automatically decompress soon as you clock out. You're like, man, that was some bullshit that happened at work today, and it's over.
Free.
I'm free of it. I'm not gonna bring it back out, because the real reason why people are so mad at their job is because they got a fake and fraud for their check, and they are mad that they gotta be that fake version of themselves to get that check. But if you use your authentic self, all those things, you will not take it personally. You will understand that job is just your job. You are not defined by your job. You are not defined by the people that upset you at your job. You are not defined by your boss, and it's okay. So when you come home, you don't need to decompress, because as soon as you clocked out, you already decompressed.
Sharon, can I throw him a little bit of grace? I think
Stop being nice, Venus.
Yes, because the chokehold is getting tight. Go ahead, Venus.
It's because y'all said he new here, so I'm not gonna do what I would normally do, right? He gotta get eased into this thing. Okay, it's rough around here because you be saying a lot of shit that don't make sense. Okay, but I will say this, or at least the way you're wording it, it's like I don't know about that. But I will say there should be room that, like, occasionally people, men and women, might come home and needs to decompress. People do go through things. So to act like that's never a thing, I don't agree, Sharon.
And it's the majority of people. That's all I'm gonna say. That it's a majority.
Right, but for it to be a thing every damn day, no, I don't agree with that either.
Who said every day?
No, but Sharon's saying it never happens. So I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Give like there are some days where it's just not just work. It could be just people have a lot of shit goes on, right? And sometimes a person might come home and have to manage. So I'm not going to say you should never, ever need to decompress. I don't think that's fair to say.
Right.
But this whole, every time I get off work, I need to no, that's too much.
Boy, y'all crazy as hell. I got you.
I know, but
we
have
rooms.
Let
me tell you something about panels.
We got man caves to do that. I'm in
Wait,
the
hold
cave
on.
now.
You're new on panels. Let me tell you, you got to say what you mean and mean what you say. If you don't, then we're going to interpret the best way we know how. So maybe you need to explain better. But the way you're saying, we're literally taking the words that you're saying.
Right. Well, I don't think I need to explain it, but I just believe that people believe what they believe, and I believe what I believe. And this is what I mean by that. I'll say this. Everyone, not everyone, the majority of people, when they come home or whatever, needs to decompress. That stuff that Brownsville is saying, everyone doesn't decompress on their ride home. Some do, and you can't get all the decompression out. Not all the time. Stop it. So you have to come into your threshold. Once you cross your threshold, what's ever remaining that needs to be decompressed, your spouse needs to help alleviate that decompression.
Get that remote control, chill out, go to your man cave.
Stop it. Let me add on to that. If me coming home, getting that remote control, going down to my man cave, drinking my first beer.
Get a kiss first.
Hear me out. If that's part of my decompression for that hour, then that's what that is. But while I'm doing that, and you coming down there, and you know I need that hour to release the rest of my decompression, that's all I'm saying. Now, what's wrong with that? And you cannot tell me that that's not an everyday occurrence. You cannot tell me that's not.
But hold on, listen. just because that is the case for a majority of us, but you know what
Thank
that
you.
also is. But listen, that's a learned behavior, and we have to
That's a
change
learned
Teachable
that.
behavior. I'm
also.
not trying to
Like
cut you off.
you
What's the learned
niggas,
behavior?
Yes, Rilla.
Coming home
the
to decompress.
concept that we have to come home and decompress and go through all that before we can show grace and love to our family, right? Like you niggas is finna make me go in and
No. Who
apologize to
said
my
we got to
wife
show
right
grace?
now.
See, again,
Apologize.
No
no. Who
apologizing.
said we got to show grace and love? I never said you got to show
Apologize.
grace
No,
and love. Who said
Otis.
that?
No. Okay, brother, hear me out. Hear what I'm saying. Because we're saying I have to come, like I go and I battle the dragon, I slay the minions and all these other things, right? And then when I come home, I need time to myself on the regular, right? To decompress, right? Which means something is piled up in me, and I have to release that in a healthy way before I can properly engage with my family. And what I'm saying is that's a learned behavior, right? From the concept of the 9 to 5, the 8 hour work week, whatever. That's a learned behavior from that, right? So we need to change and modify that behavior. That's all I'm saying. Trust me, but you 53, I'm 50. I hear everything you're saying. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also a lifelong student. So when I get new information, I either can accept it or reject it. In this moment, I'm accepting it and choosing to adapt,
I
right?
got you.
That's a
Yeah.
learned behavior that we got to challenge ourselves to improve on, because if the goal is family, I want to show up as the best version of me for my family. Fuck that job.
Facts,
I
fact,
got you.
I'll
and
find
that's what
another
I'm
one.
Yes.
saying, Rilla,
Amen.
Rilla. That's what
Can
I'm
I get
saying,
in?
and that's why it's important for us to decompress on the way home and be fully decompressed before we walk through those doors. You know what I'm saying? That force field at that point should be down, and you should be embracing your family as soon as you walk through that door with love, saying, "Hey, babe, I'm happy to see you." Hug your kids, ask them about their day, you know, talk to them, communicate right off the bat, because that first impression when you get home, you know what I'm saying? That's when you are stepping in your masculine energy. Now it's daddy's home. Now everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? That is the
Brownsville.
message that you're sending
Slap your wife on her ass when you come in.
when you
Hey,
Brownsville. Can I
go
honey,
ask
into
you a
that
question?
house. That
take that.
Can I ask you a question, Brownsville? With all due respect, not trying to cut you off, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Based on what you're saying, I like this dialogue. Based on what you're saying one should be able to decompress fully before he comes home. I understand that. So let's take that premise and let's say I agree with you. So with that being said, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, I'm not trying to be funny. If my normal ride takes me 20 minutes to come home after work, if I'm not compressed yet, I'm going to go to a bar. I'm going to do something else before I go home, based on your analogy, because I'm not decompressed yet. But my family wants me home. I'm supposed to be home at 5 o'clock, but I'm not decompressed yet. But before I go home, I want to be decompressed so I can be all of me. But it's going to be another 2 hours. What say you on that?
Wow, the luxury. Can I get in here?
Oh yes,
I,
Pia Ziva again, because Pia Ziva been very patient. Go ahead, Pia Ziva. What's your thoughts?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning,
Good morning,
Brownsville.
ma'am.
peace and love.
So I think it's a luxury to think that you need to be decompressed, that you have to, come home or have that hour or 2 hours to decompress. Many women are, in the workforce and also have families. And what the research shows is that when they get off that first job, they get home and they start their second job. So as soon as they walk in the door, they can't decompress, right? And they have to start cooking dinner. They're dealing with kids. They're going to do homework or taking kids from hither to post or whatever. And so the idea that as a man, you should be able to have, come home and lay back and smoke a blunt for an hour or two until you get your head right. Like, it's the ultimate in like male privilege, right? It's crazy to me to think that, it's a job, and let's be very honest. Most people aren't out performing brain surgery all day, right? And so you do your job for 8 hours or however many hours and move on with your life, right? So I don't know. To me, it just sounds crazy, especially the part where I think Otis was the one who said it. The spouse needs to help you decompress. I don't know. That was just
Can I,
clear
can,
my
can I
Right.
explain
And
that?
this is
Oh,
why
I
before you,
forgot.
I want to jump in.
Yes, they
So this
do.
is why earlier we were saying this earlier to me and Venus when we first started the show. This is where the 50-50 thing is not honest, right? Because they want the woman to pound on jobs and jobs and jobs, and they want their job to be less and less and less. Because they do not want to be rest in a masculine. Because, like we were saying earlier, it's a lot that you are taking on when you are in your masculinity. You put on more weight because weight is meant for shoulders, not your goddamn hips. And so, yes, as a man, if you want to take on that masculine role, you truly want to be that, you're going to have to put on more weight. And when you walk through that door, it got to look effortlessly. Because when I walk through that door, I never did it. Brought in whatever traumas I have from outside at work into my household. My kids do not know how difficult it is to slay a dragon at all. They just know, like, I'm an amazing human being. How the fuck do you do this every day? I don't understand how we got this place and it's always clean. I'm like the goddamn duck on the water. My legs under that water is moving like this. It's working. On top of that water, I'm moving smooth. Like I'm not even putting no goddamn effort. So watch the goddamn duck is all we saying, and stop bringing that stress onto your family because the women don't have no decompression time, and us men we need to don't have it as well.
No, that's not
we
true.
can be fair.
Sharon.
And so now,
Hello?
it's like it's just like the thank God it's Friday mentality. A lot of people they work only up until Friday, and well, life still goes on. And so every Friday they go, they spend a lot of money because they gotta go to the bar because they stressed. They created the stress for themselves so they can go and decompress. The same reason why you smoke, same reason why you drink. You create drama in your life so you could go out there and smoke a cigarette in the first place. People don't even understand that's psychological. So the reason why you smoke every day, you turn into, I gotta need to smoke. You look for any reason to go and get a smoke instead of dealing what things is. So when you at work, you stress. Oh man, the boss said I gotta come in 2 minutes early tomorrow. Ah man, this shit stressing me out. You smoke. Oh man, my wife said I gotta take out the trash. I just got in the house. Man, I gotta go outside and smoke when I take out the trash. You look for things to decompress. And so that is the issue. So if you always be authentically yourself, when you clock out and clock in, you don't have to change it. So you don't have to decompress because you love the job at the job, and I leave work and I leave my house at the house. I do not go home. I do not go to work and complain about my house, and I do not go to my house complaining about my work because that's what happens to people that need to decompress. They got to decompress on both sides. They go to work and they decompress from their household. Then they come home from work and then they decompress from that. It's a goddamn habit. And people got to stop. The remedial rhetoric is that you got to decompress. No, you need to be your fucking self.
That is not true. It's not true at all.
True.
It's not true at all because it's basic male and female psychology. Okay, I'm gonna give Otis a little what's the lifeline? Just because I can do it and you and I can do it, Sharon, but it's not the basic. When my wife come home, the basic female psychologist says she need to talk. She need to let all this shit out. And I'm there to listen to this shit. However, just because we could do something, it doesn't mean each person got to have a different tool. Like Brownville, he could do it in his car. I could do it, but I could do it with a hug. I come in and spank my wife on the ass. That's me. But he got to find a way to make his relationship work. He can't become a woman. He can't say, no, I'm not going to do shit. I'm just going to shut the hell up and do the dishes.
And we want to talk about the difference how men react and communicate. That's two completely different things. Women are always going to be more talkative in anything that they do.
But why?
Happy, sad, or mad. That is a part of who they are as humans. And we would say describe something. We give it, hey, describe tic-tac-toe to a man. And we say, hey, lady, describe tic-tac-toe. Most likely that woman will have at least 10 to 20 words more than any man.
That's why?
So women are just natural social people. They are social creatures. They need to talk.
And men don't need to talk. That's why you need to compress.
That's not what we're talking about. That's not decompressing.
I'm trying to help y'all on this.
No, what I'm saying is,
I don't need no help. Especially
you need help with this one.
No, I don't.
They tell you to be a woman right now.
It's not decompressing. A woman needing to talk to a man is just a woman being a woman. She's just womaning. Did I just
Hey,
some men need to calm down before they come in their house. They don't need to come in their house, take all this shit on their wife. Some men need to chill the fuck out.
Just walk past my
Sharon just make up a word. Did he just make up a word? He said she just womaning.
Yeah,
right.
Jesus Christ.
No, but look, hey. What I'm saying is, use your own tools, your own technique to make it work. You can't use my
Yeah.
technique or Sharon technique or Chicago Realtor technique. Whatever you have to do to make this shit work, bro, make this shit work.
Hello.
Period.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I used to. Well, when I was married, my husband used to be a correction officer, right? So he used to come home and he would have that rah rah attitude, because you got to have that rah rah attitude when you work in a prison, right? So he would have that rah rah attitude when he came home. And every time he'd come in with that rah rah attitude, I just automatically leave the house. And I would leave the house for like hours at a time. You know, I was training him. I guess I was training him. I don't know, because I don't like confrontation. I don't like static, right? And so I would leave and go to a bookstore. I'd be there for like 4 hours, wouldn't come home. And he'd be like, "Why do you always leave when I come in the door?" You know? And I was like, "Because you're not yourself when you come in the door. It's like you gotta wind down, but instead of winding down, you start barking at me. And I'm not gonna have you bark at me because this marriage is gonna end very soon if you continue to bark at me, right?" So he had to learn that he couldn't bring that home. He had to learn how to shut that off. Okay. I mean, it took a while. It took about 2 years. It took a while before he could turn it off. But at one point he did learn to turn it off, right? But I understand the stress. It depends on the job too. It definitely depends on the job. It depends on the job, man or woman. If you have that
Hmm.
kind of stress, you have to come home and decompress. And I get it. Working in the prison is a stressful job. I get that too. But you also have to be compassionate to your mate, compassionate to your spouse. You cannot bring that kind of thing home. You have to learn how to discern that inside of your mind. You need to be able to figure it out inside of your mind, inside of your person, and say, I cannot bring that stress home to my spouse. Okay?
So, can I
And
ask
I
you a
have,
question, Heather? Can I ask you a question, Queen? This is a perfect question to
yeah,
ask you. Perfect question.
hmm,
I like this shit. Okay,
what?
your husband was coming home, came home.
Mhm.
You decided at that time to leave your house instead of sitting your husband down. I'm just hyperbole. Instead of sitting your husband down and wasting 4 hours out the household, sitting your husband down, letting him know how he's making you feel. So instead of you wasting 4 hours in 2 years, don't take this the wrong way. I'm just based on what you said. Instead of wasting 4 hours a day in 2 years of your marriage, that could have been cut down plenty by when your husband came home the first couple of times with that rah rah attitude. Hey, baby, you bringing your job home with you. Relax. I'm here. What's up with that?
Yeah, but
But
I
you
had a,
decided to take your actions that longer route.
well,
Four
let me,
hours out the house and 2 years to work that issue out. What say you?
let me explain.
Okay.
Some human beings are not ready or willing to face that they have negative characteristics. Some human beings are not ready to discuss that. Some human beings are not willing to see themselves with fault, with any kind of flaw. My husband just happened to be one of those people, and I recognized that early. That he was not with, he was, he is what you call, he was one of the alpha males, where whatever he thought was whatever he thought, and I was just a little old wife, and da 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 da. So therefore, I had to train him and teach him in different ways what I was willing to accept and what I wasn't willing to accept. And when he wouldn't listen to my initial protest of, hey, you cannot scream at me and expect me to say, when he did not understand that or he did not want to accept that, I started to disappear. So when I started to disappear and I kept disappearing, and he'd say, "Why do you disappear?" And I'd be like, "Because I was at the bookstore." "Why do you disappear?" "Because I wanted to." "Why did you disappear?" As soon as it started to get on his nerves that I would disappear for so long, then I sat him back down again and told him, I do not accept or tolerate people barking at me. I have explained this to you initially when we first got married. I do not accept people barking at me. And then he was willing to listen because he didn't want me to disappear. He didn't want me to keep disappearing. The food wasn't on the table, right? The food wasn't on the table. As soon as he walk in the door and he start barking, I'd leave all the kids with him. He'd be sitting there with all the goddamn kids, and I'd disappear for 4 hours. And
Awesome.
once
And
he,
I think thank you, HQ. And I think it's very important that we understand that when you come home and you need to decompress again, you are still taking time away from your family. And what you are doing is alienating yourself from your family, where that is supposed to be your time, because time is very precious. You do not get back that time that you need to decompress, and you need to do whatever drug it is, or whatever ailment I should use instead of saying drug, whatever ailment you need to use to decompress for an hour, 2 hours every day. Eventually that turns into a habit. Every day you walk through that house, your kid's gonna say, my daddy is grumpy.
Everything is
And
a
you got to
habit.
change your ideology. Because no, when you walk through the house, you should not be looking at it as I need time to. Daddy, you're grumpy. See, I'm grumpy.
No,
Because she see
I
me screaming at these
disagree.
goddamn screens all day.
Otis,
So she think
Otis, do what you have to do to
Sharon?
survive.
Sharon?
yes,
Sharon?
yes.
Okay. I'm sorry I had to, but I'm still doing something, but I was going to say about that, like, you know, the decompression part. Like, even myself, like, I'll find myself doing it, but like in a different way. Like you said, like sometimes I'll go home, but like I'm like kind of by myself off to the side, but it's just like I need that moment. But it depends on who it is. Like, too, like it depends on the person. I don't think it has to do necessarily a man or a woman. It just has to do with the person and how they deal with resetting a little bit, depending on what their role is too. Because if you're in a role or position of giving out like orders all day and things like that, sometimes you just want a moment to just be clear and just have a moment, and that does happen. And so then you can go on. Like, but sometimes you don't have time, like especially if you're a working mom or something, you don't have time. So you just have to kind of adapt to it a little bit. So what I'll do, maybe I'll go home, take a moment before I go in the house. I might sit in the car, listen to a couple of songs, whatever. Then I'll go in the house and then continue what I'm doing. But it may be something quiet, like a quieter activity, something that's not like with the kids or something. Like, okay, hey, we're gonna watch this movie or something. Like it's calming still, but it's like I'm relaxing more than like I get home and everybody just screaming, talking about look at these papers, or something like that. So it kind of depends too.
I agree
Yeah,
with
and
him on
I
that
just
one.
think that we
I
just
agree
got to
with
be
it.
careful with the habits that we create for ourselves. And then every time you have in your mind that you got to decompress, eventually it will turn to habit. Just like cigarette smoking, just like drinking alcohol. If every time you deal with something difficult, you have to use a vice to deal with it, is going to impact negatively on you and your family and the way how your family receive you. So you need to deal with it at the time. But if you always authentically yourself, you always be able to deal with it at the time and leave things where they at. I had a problem at work. Once I leave this job, that is it. It's over. I don't give a fuck what anybody said to me at that job.
I
And
know,
when
but
I
Sean,
Sharon.
that's you and I though. We could do that.
Right. He's speaking in
And so
No,
what
one
we
in a
gotta
million.
do is that,
Man,
but we
gone, man.
gotta
That's not how that
change.
works
We
in
gotta
real
change
life,
the
bro.
rhetoric in people's minds that they gotta decompress. This whole thank God it's Friday nonsense. It's bullshit.
it's
It
basic
Wait,
creates
Sharon.
it's basic male
people
behavior.
into wait. Right. It creates people to wait until Friday. Say, I'm free. Like
Why are you
every day.
using the word decompression or decompress as a negative connotation when it's
Because
not?
it is when we do it,
Simply,
but we
it's
got to
not
do it every
negative.
single day. That's why if we have to do it every single day, it is a negative thing. If every weekend that you got to
No.
No,
thank
it's
God,
not. Are you serious?
if every weekend you got to thank God it's Friday, it is a problem with your job.
Oh my
And then
God.
what you don't understand is this: is that your mate, your lover, the person that you are vulnerable with, because we at the point where you're vulnerable, you walk through that house, and every day you got to decompress. Your man's gonna say, "Hey, babe, I see you have to decompress a lot. I want to know
Don't
what's
listen
going
to
on
him.
with you.
Otis, don't listen to him.
Maybe you need
Don't
to
listen
change
to him,
job."
Otis.
Sure.
This is what happens when y'all get this whole nagging situation happens to y'all. Because then that's when the woman saying, "Hey, maybe you need to change job. This job is
No.
having a negative impact on you, and you bringing that negativity into the household, and you're not recognizing it because you got to decompress so much. Because this is why people preach you need to do what you love. Because when you
Don't
do
listen
what you
to him,
love
Otis.
and you got to deal with it, you don't need to decompress from that. You think LeBron James got to decompress every goddamn day he come home?
Yes,
No,
he does. Yes,
absolutely
he does.
not.
No, with
This is
all due
crazy.
respect, with all due respect, you
Only-
sound crazy. You really do. You
Otis,
really
don't
just
listen
want to hear
to him.
yourself
Hey,
talk right now. Are you
Otis,
serious?
Everybody got their own technique. Everybody got their own technique. Make it work.
Decompress is part of life. It's part of your psyche. How dare you take that word and try to turn it into a negative connotation? You have to decompress to deal with the world, to be able to deal with the next situation. You have to.
Not all of us, man. Hey, not all of us. Okay, I'm trying to help you out. Okay, if PhD would need to come home, I need to massage her feet every day. I need to massage her feet. It's only 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Do what you got to do to survive.
So look. So decompress. It means to relieve pressure. So if every single day you got to come home and relieve pressure, and your family is recognizing that you have pressure every single day you walk through that door, it is having a negative effect on your family, and you're not recognizing it, and you think that is a part of your life. And so now, when you are putting that as a part of your life, that is a part of your regimen. When you leave work, I'm stressed. This is a part of you. You people don't understand the things that you do often. It becomes a habit. I don't care if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It becomes a habit.
It becomes a ritual.
That is why the whole term, thank God's Friday, that you need a drink on Friday when you get your check and you go spend your money to decompress and stay away from your family because you don't want to go home and bring all this goddamn pressure to your family. Is a problem, and we need to stop with the remedial rhetoric that you need to be a code switch and not be who you are as a human being. And every single time you walk through that goddamn door, your wife gotta always bring life into everything. When the fuck she's gonna decompress then? If every time you walk through that door,
your rhetoric is crazy.
Your
rhetoric is crazy right now.
Your rhetoric. Who is that? Okay, Venus.
Before me and Otis keep going,
take it easy, Venus.
I want
I'm just trolling Venus.
She don't have much time. She's finally getting out the bed. She's about to wash her ass. Go ahead, Venus.
Exactly. Oh, wait, first of all, this was a great conversation. I like this a lot. Second of all, Sharon, I was with you, but now you're being extreme. People do need to decompress sometimes. You cannot act like every day they just gonna come from work and ready for whatever the household entails. I like what PhD said earlier about like if a woman has to deal with work and let's just say she has to go home and deal with her children and homework and there's no time, there's no room for that, right? It's not that doesn't make it okay though. People, what about the people like I'm the type of person I need to mentally prepare for things. I don't know why I'm like that, but I'm like that. So let's just say you're the type of man who needs to mentally prepare. You get up early enough, you get your mind right, you go to work. And then you might go home to a bunch of kids or whatever it is. He might need time to mentally prepare for that too. It's just some people are like that. It just is what it is. But I'll be in the clouds later, y'all.
Sharon, can I please say this? Because it goes.
I agree with Venus on that one.
My wife, when she gets off work every day at 2:45, she's upstairs now working in her home office. When she gets off work at 2:45, she comes down to the kitchen. I go upstairs and I ask her every day, and she could attest to this. How was your day? That's a form of her decompressing. And when I tell you, based on what you said earlier, she just let it spews out. Half the time, I'm not gonna even lie. I tune that shit out, but I'm letting her speak because she's decompressing. And she's doing that. That's what I do in support of my wife. It goes both ways. So what are you talking about? Explain that, sir. What are
Otis, if it works, it works. I'm saying if it works, it works. Do not change.
I know it works. Excuse me, Lamar. I'm talking to this gentleman right here.
So what I think you're confusing is your wife being social and decompression in the same conversation. So no matter what you asked her, and she wanted to spew out and she wanted to just communicate with you because she loves you so much, she don't care what you would have asked her. That same thing would have been.
But it's still a form of decompression. Don't deflect. It's a form of decompression because if I didn't ask her, it would still be in. It'll take it out in her preparing our meal or whatever she's doing. She got that look on her face. So
now this is what you're saying. Now I want to get to the point what you're saying. So now if she actually needed to decompress, when you came upstairs and you said, "Hey babe, what was your day?" She'd be like, "Not right now. I need to go spend some time by myself. I don't need to talk to you right now. I gotta go and decompress by myself." That is the difference. What you are saying is that you invite her in to the conversation. So now y'all both are communicating. She is still talking to you. She is vetting with you. It's no tension within the house. But what you are preaching is something complete opposite. You are talking about solitude. You're saying, hey, when I come in the house, I need y'all to leave me the fuck alone so I could decompress by myself and have a thought. So those are two completely different things. And you try to combine
Go
it.
back to the first one. Go back to the first one. My wife does that too. When I ask her how was your day, she says, hey, babe, I don't want to talk about it right now. Okay, I got you. And I walk off. What's the difference? What say you?
The difference is that you moving the goalpost and y'all calling
No, I'm
cab.
not moving
I want to bring in Easy Money Jones. He said he don't got
Good
much
technique,
time.
Otis.
I'm gonna bring in
Temptation
Easy Money
forever.
Jones. How you doing, Easy Money Jones?
I am fantastic. I'm fantastic. Hey, let me help my OG out real quick because I understand what he's saying. What's going on, Otis? I got you, man. I got you. And like I threw in the chat earlier, I had you all wrong, man. I thought you was like a diet version of the Red Pill Ranger, man. I apologize. I had you all wrong.
I don't even know who that is, but that sounds
Leave
bad.
Red Pill alone. He'll come up here, though.
That's fine. I'll gladly have that conversation with him. But
Angry young man.
but yeah, my bad on that. So just real quick to what Otis is saying, like, sometimes when you work, and I don't think Otis is talking about it every day, right? Like there's different ways that you can decompress depending on the stress that you feel at a particular job. So for instance, like I threw in the chat earlier, I had a coworker who died, right? And it was rough. We had to announce it at work because this person was a union steward and all this. So it was like a big deal. And I just remember like just being kind of like shell shocked and empty. So by the time I got home, I was still kind of in this place of like still feeling that feeling there. And so, my wife was able to sit with me for like an hour and help me kind of process it. So I think part of what we're saying is we're talking about decompression, but to a degree, depending on the type of day you have, it may be a thing where you just need to process what it is that you're seeing or that you're feeling. Because I don't know where everybody works, but I've definitely been in some stressful situations. I've had to call people to tell them that their relative died at work, among other things, right? And so, like there are things that you go through at work that don't that aren't really allowed to decompress through your regular decompression methods, and sometimes you just need to process what you're seeing. So to Otis's point, it may be a thing where you play some good music on the way home and you're good, and you hit the door and the kids jump all over you and you go about your evening. Or it could be a thing where you're driving home, you had a call from work, they pissed you off, and now you're at the door like, man, here we go again. But to that point, and I think where Sharon is I think where your point kind of dovetails with that is you've got to be emotionally intelligent enough to understand how you're feeling before you walk in that door. And I think to your point, Sharon, like there's that balance between how am I feeling and how do I need to show up for my family. And that's where the method of decompression and how much time you need to decompress is important. And then that's when you go to your partner and say, hey, buddy, hey, wife person I'm related to by marriage. I just need 5 minutes. I had a crazy day. Let me just get a beer out the fridge, stand on the porch real quick, and I'll be right in and I'll fix that clogged up toilet. I'll help you with dinner, whatever. So I think that's kind of the part that we're missing, to where there's like this middle thing between decompression and coming in the door upset. Like there's that recognition and then that expression of what you're feeling. Does that make sense? Feel free to tell me you don't. I'm cool with that. I'll have that conversation.
So let me give you something that let me give an example of what I do. If I'm feeling really stressed and I need some goddamn decompression, I will come through the door and I would say, hey, babe, because decompression means to release. I'll say, hey, babe, I need you to go in that goddamn room, take a shower real quick because I need some release. I need some release.
Why take a shower? You don't eat? Why she gotta take a shower?
I knew he was finna go there.
I said, why she gotta take a shower?
No, he don't eat, so why she gotta take a shower?
He just came home from work. He came from outside, but she gotta take a shower.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I need some relief. I need to express myself. I need to get all that goddamn vigor. I need to get all that vigor and that stress out. And I'm gonna blow your back out. God damn it. That's how I
But to
do
that
it.
point, but to that point, really quick, maybe it's the word choice. Maybe process is the way that we need to kind of. Maybe that's a little bit closer to what we're talking about. To where you have a crazy day, and you just need to be like, man, what the hell just happened, or what happened? What am I feeling right now? Because a lot of times, what I found is I would come home from work and still be wound up, and I haven't processed what I'm feeling, and I'm still mad at something that happened at a meeting at 9:30 and it's 6:30 at night, and I just didn't give myself the chance to process it. So maybe processing is better than decompression, even though I understand what both mean and I understand what it means when I use it, but maybe that's the better word here. So at that point, I'll shut up and listen, and y'all keep talking.
Awesome.
It's no better
Hey,
word. Hey,
I just also
Otis,
want to say,
do what
hey,
you have to do
listen,
to
I don't know
survive.
what is going on. I know you've been here for more than 20 minutes. Let's see if I can get some
But
people.
don't change,
I
'cause it's
need you
working.
to hit the like button. I need you to hit the share button. You've been here for more than 20 minutes. Show some love, productivity within the conversation. We entertained you. We gave you some insights. We gave you two sides of the coin today. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit the dollar cash app. We got 126 people watching right now. Let me see some I need 126 single dollar bills dropping from the internet sky. Jesus. Lord have mercy. And since every time I say goddamn, somebody's take a shot, there go a shot for you, sir. And make sure you send a single dollar bill for that shot. Go ahead, Lamar.
I finna take a shot at a PhD. But I bet she go to work to decompress. Because I go to work, I get all this shit out of work. When I leave work, I'm done.
Right.
I like it. I gave those. Sorry, I ain't gonna say that. I was saying it. I was those people. I won't say those people. I gave those people the business. Now I'm going home and relaxing.
But a lot of people need to work out. That's a great way to decompress. I go for a walk every day after work for about an hour and 15 minutes or whatever. But and then also, a lot of the stress or the pent up stuff you'll feel in your body can be a result of the diet as well. So eliminating a lot of those processed foods, those sugary foods can go a long way towards helping people feel less stressed.
That's true.
Maybe that's why I never had to come home and eat up my
It's different techniques. So if all this shit working for him,
I think that diet definitely plays a part in it. But the truth of the matter is, these conversations are always nuanced, right? And I think the overall goal is to become better versions, and again, better versions of ourselves. And so, obviously, it's always going to be put your face mask on first, or put your gas or whatever. You know what they tell you when you're on a plane? Put your mask on first, right? But the ultimate goal is to show up best for the people to who it matters most. And whatever that looks like, you should be willing to do whatever it takes. For me right now, just listening to the conversation, it looks like me rethinking how I decompress. That's what it looks like for me.
Man, that's
and everyone does it differently, right? And that's a nuanced conversation, though. But I'm glad what you said though, because honestly, we have to be real about it. Again, that's a nuanced situation because everybody's relationship is different. Like you said, take your shoes off before you come into the house. My question is this, not this panel, but just in general, including myself. Whatever your stance is within your relationship, whether you're the alpha, the beta, whatever, can you talk that same talk and hold that same reverence with your spouse right there beside you right now, live?
Yes, I can.
Talk that talk.
It's not the relationship, Otis. It's you.
Uphold you and continue and to support what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not the relationship. It's you.
I know mine can.
I don't believe. Yeah.
I know mine can. We're not going to agree with everything, but it's to the point whereas she allows me to get my voice out and vice versa. Period.
I know,
and
but
that common ground is there. How many of you can do the same thing?
I know, but it's not your spouse. It's you. You are what you are. Period.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. I get
so,
that. We're saying the
so
same
it have
thing.
nothing to do with the spouse at all.
But your spouse should know you. You should know what you have and vice versa.
She do her best to know us, but nobody really know anybody 100%.
I'm just
And
horrified that these women are working all day and then going home and cooking. Like the decompression should be, hey, I can't cook.
There
I
you go.
gotta
I
get
knew
on
that
the
was
floor
coming
and
because the woman's supposed to come home and
Put
cook.
your put
That's
your
why
cape
she
on,
come home
D.
and do it.
shout out
That's what
to
I'm talking about.
Easy Money Jones on the Cash App. He said,
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
he said, play my song. And listen, we got 121. We need 120 more single dollar bills in air so we can hear the full song of that. God damn it, shit. Let's support productive
Peace,
deals.
Steven.
God
Yes,
You
sir.
said the man
more
come
single
home and they
dollar
complaining,
super
and the woman got to
stickers.
do all the work. Damn.
I
PhD.
wouldn't do it. Like to me, that's a
PhD.
losing proposition. Ain't no way in
PhD.
hell.
PH Diva. In our household, I'm not gonna say mine. In our household, because it's the wives too. My wife works. She works 8 hours a day. She gets off work. She cooks. She cooks. Now, with that being said, after she cooks, I clean the table. I scrape the plates. I do all that. But the point
do the
is,
dishes.
she works 8. I don't do the dishes. I don't do that. She works 8 hours a day, and she cooks.
Right, Callie. Right.
Oh shit.
That's
Hey,
what
more
goes on
power
in
to her.
our
If she
household. But
willing
I
to
make
take that
sure
losing
I
proposition,
contribute and
more
I
power
clean it.
to her. I wouldn't do it, but if she
got you.
willing to take
I
that
got
losing
you.
proposition, yeah, more power to you, sis.
Exactly.
I'll cook tonight myself.
I want to
like
welcome
cooking.
to the stage the beautiful and always
And-
driving by to set you
Oh
motherfuckers
shit.
straight. Hallie Bev, good day.
And happy
How
Callie
you
Bev.
doing?
Straighten them, Callie.
Hey,
Straighten them.
Get
what's
the ass,
up?
Callie.
He walk all over
This,
their ass, Callie Bev.
this ain't no drive by. I'm staying. I should have said
Uh
parking ride. That's what I should have put.
oh. So you at Lindbergh, Cali? You at Lindbergh right now?
Yeah, I am at the Lindbergh station. Matter of fact, I'm finna change that shit right now. Put this parking ride. But nah, what you gonna call it? Both parties need some form of decompression. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. I don't care. And if I need to decompress by not having to cook in my fucking work clothes, then that's what it's gonna
Whoa.
goddamn be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No
Like
problem with that.
Right.
I am not my mama, okay? Now, granted, my daddy would go ahead and cook, you know what I'm saying, sometimes or whatever. But he been off since 3 o'clock. Mama been from work downtown, came and got us from school because we didn't want to be in the house when daddy was decompressing. That's no, you don't know. That ain't no. So
How often are you
what you call
decompressing,
it?
Cali?
Huh?
How often now you making me want to watch call it. How often are you decompressing?
Depending on
It's needed.
what's going on depending on what's going on at work or whatever. I'd say probably maybe about once every other week. I need to be like, hey, y'all, y'all leave me alone. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
different. That's different. Yeah.
But at the same time too, y'all know I go outside, my outlet too. You know what I'm saying? Me and my girls get together once a month and we decompress like all fucking day. So there's that.
Perfect. And this is why I was saying earlier, this is why women do survive longer than men, because they willing to get in a group and have that communication, decompress with each other, whether it's shopping, whether it's going to the lounge, whether it's just hanging out at the house and sipping some wine. They don't do it every night, but that's a form of decompression. That's why they can get together, and that's why they live longer than men, because men want to do everything by their goddamn self. I want to welcome to the show the beautiful, and I know she never has to decompress, the verbal assassin.
Watch football game every week.
Hello. Hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, good, great. Hey, everybody on the panel. So I've been listening all morning and everything's great conversation, but I heard something that disturbed me to the pit of my soul, right? And there's a caveman on this panel who is bragging about his wife working 8 fucking hours. And let's be clear, it's more like 9. And we're also not adding in the commute, right? And he's bragging to everyone about how she comes home and then she has to cook, right? And then he doesn't even make it better by saying that he washes the dish. No, he scrapes plates out like he's a 10-year-old. How does your wife get to decompress? When does she get to decompress?
Can I tell you
Because
that?
that's not a flex what you're doing.
Whoa. No. And I mean this in all sincerity. My wife and I understand the dynamic of our marriage and our relationship. She knows that we have to eat. So after she works upstairs,
Oh my Lord.
after she works upstairs, I go upstairs. She come down in the kitchen. I ask her, how was her day? That's the first form of decompression. And then she starts to spew and starts to let it out. So that's
She
one.
spews.
Well,
She spews.
excuse me.
Interesting word choice,
She
sir.
spews.
Excuse my
She
phrase.
spews.
She starts to explain to me her day. Let me get my phrase together. She starts to explain to me her day. So that's her first form of whatever that word we're talking about.
Decompression.
Decompression. The second part, seriously, is after she gets through preparing the meal for us, which is what she's supposed to do because it's part of our dynamic. What I do to help her decompress. When it's time for me to go down on her, I go down on her and I do
Lord
what needs to be
Jesus.
done. That's part of her
So that
decompression.
so her so like I can't. PhD, but would you like to take this one? Because
No, thank
I'm gonna have to go on mute for a second because this is absolutely absurd. It sounds horrifying, actually. Horrifying.
That's
I'm
funny.
too
Damn.
tickled. I'm tickled as fuck.
Listen, I know this sounds.
Damn.
Listen,
The
I know
fuck,
this
my
sounds
nigga?
crazy, and I know it sounds one-sided, but it's not. My wife is happy. We have a great
Without a
dynamic.
shower?
It's a give and take. It's a give and take. It really is. It's a give and take. I'm just my wife.
Okay, so after you go down on her, right?
And she loves it. She's so decompressed.
Wait. Okay, but do you
Eyes
leave
going
it at
back of
that?
her head.
Do you leave
Oh,
it?
she's
Okay,
so
but
decompressed.
Otis, do you
Yes.
leave it at that though? So you go down on her, and do you leave it at that?
What you mean? Yeah, she done for a few hours. I'm good.
Okay, so you don't do anything else. You don't try to go further with it. You don't try to take it to the next level after you go down on her.
What do you mean next level?
Damn.
What you mean by next
Did
level?
she take a shower
I'm
first?
wrong. Talk to me. We talking about
Putting
decompression.
your penis in a Earl Otis, you know what she mean.
Oh, you mean that? Of
A
course.
dirty box?
Okay, then. So it's not, okay. So again, we're going back to it being about you.
No, it's
So
not.
she
She
can't even.
she
It is
enjoys
though,
that.
because
She
you
enjoys
like
that. That's a
Mister.
form of decompression. I'm being
Well,
honest.
how do you know?
Not
How
like
do you know?
Because
How
she
do you
told me.
actually know?
Because
Oh,
she
because she
told
told
me.
you. Do you know
Yes.
that we
Fight
tell
back,
you all
Otis. Fight
kinds of
back.
things?
Stop it. That's you.
We tell
You
y'all
lie
all
to your
kinds of
spouse.
things. See,
Mine
this is
don't
the
lie to me.
delusion that you want to believe.
Wow.
Mm.
See, don't go there.
This
I'm being
woman is
honest with you.
your workhorse and then your hump toy. That's
No,
what you're
you
telling us.
saying that. Listen, the words that are coming out of your
It's
mouth are
called the
not
bang
disparaging.
maid.
The words that are coming out of your mouth right now are not disparaging to me. That's
Why can't
disparaging
you
to a
wash the
man.
dishes? Why can't you wash the dishes?
Because I don't wash dishes.
I don't understand.
Because
So, have you ever lived by yourself?
I'm going to answer
Have
your
you
question.
ever lived by yourself?
I'm going to answer
Have you
your
ever lived?
question. Yes, I
Okay,
have.
you said you don't. Okay,
Yes,
and
I
who
have.
washed the dishes?
When I was
You
by
didn't wash your
myself.
own dishes.
Listen, I'm answering your question. I'm being honest here. When I'm by myself,
I know, and it's terrifying. I know. I wish you
when
weren't
I'm
being
by
honest.
myself,
Nah,
I'm
really.
self-sufficient. When I'm by myself, the key word,
But now you have a live-in maid, right? And
no,
now, for some
you
reason,
say
you
maid.
think
That's
that
you
you
saying
shouldn't
that.
have to wash dishes. So
I don't
washing
have a
dishes is
maid.
her job. So all the domestic shit is her
Okay,
job,
the
and working
domestic
and bringing
shit,
in money. And you
the
think that's
domestic
cool? That's
shit,
not cool.
no, stop it. The domestic shit is her job. The other shit is mine. She don't change the oil. She don't jack up that
Oh
car.
my God,
She
she
don't
works
jack up
though.
that car to change the brake pads and the brake
She
rotors.
works though.
She
Does
don't
that
get
Doesn't she
on
make
the
her
work?
put
roof.
her money
Wait,
towards
Does
wait.
bills?
not get on the
So, do
roof.
you do
And
that, or do you take it up
does
to the
not get on
dealership
the
so they
roof
can
and
change the
change
brake pads and change the
Right.
oil?
Exactly. He takes it to the dealer just like the rest of us.
No, I don't. Come on now. See, you're being facetious.
So,
I'm being
no,
honest with
I
my
was.
lifestyle, and you're
I was.
degrading
I
it.
really
I'm being
was.
honest with you. I really
I
am.
was
She
being.
don't
I
do
was
the
being
manly
honest.
things I do, and she does the, lack of a better phrase, the woman things.
He
Working
changed the
on
What
What
her
are
about
transmission.
woman
change
credit.
oil?
things
He changed the
though?
How
transmission.
often?
See
How often
see
you
the
change
mode
the
he in?
oil in the brake pads?
Cook,
Cleaning is a
cooking,
human thing. No. Well, well,
cooking.
well.
Does she
Then,
pay
okay. So
bills?
then, why is it? Why is it then? So cooking is a woman thing. Why is it that the
We
most
have a
famous,
relationship.
the most successful chefs are males? and
You
always
talking
has been.
yes, again, you're moving the goalposts. You're asking me
They're
about
cooking.
my
They're
situation.
cooking though, but that's a woman thing though. So why are the
In
most
my
famous,
household,
most
it is.
successful chefs males?
Let me clarify this. In my
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shut
in my household,
got you right
in
now,
my
Otis. And please,
household,
I
the
got you
wife
right now,
cooks.
Otis.
I'm
I
reading
got
it.
you. And please allow Otis to get his full thought. Don't
Thank
interrupt
you.
him every 2 words. And Unchained, I work 12 hours plus gym and cook. Stop crying. It's easy. Go ahead.
Listen. Now, like I
Go
was
ahead,
saying,
Otis. Try
okay,
to let him get out more than 2 words. Let him get at least 5 words out before y'all interject.
thank you.
I'm gonna go after
Okay,
Otis.
Sharon, but I'm gonna count. I'm gonna
Count.
count. Okay.
Got you. The dynamic in my household, even though it's not well accepted, we have a man and woman dynamic. She does, in my opinion, woman things. She does the domestic housework. She cooks. For example, we had chicken last night. She fried the chicken. Well, my fault. She put the chicken in the oven, whatever. But
And
before
let
she
me
did,
guess,
will you let me
you beat your
finish?
chest and you got the big piece, didn't you? That what you did? I
Does,
know. That's what you did.
does she pay bills? Because
Can
that's the
I
most manly
finish?
thing. That's the
Can
manly
I
thing. Are you paying
finish?
all the bills?
Again,
Let him finish
it's
because I want
hard.
to go. I want to
It's
go.
hard. So that's fine. I go there and it's good for the algorithm. It's fine. But it's hard to have an intelligent, serious conversation with the opposite sex when I'm being so sincere and trying to get my point across to let the other people know what's going on in my household. But I have 2 women on here, which I know they mean well, but they're cracking jokes and now allow me to get my point across so we can have an intelligent conversation. I get it. But if you allow me just to get it out so we could confer and talk about it, that's fine. What I was saying was, and my wife is right here because she came down the steps because she heard me raise my. Come around here. Come around. Yes, they can hear you. You taking it the wrong way,
He's
baby.
up here every day telling us what's
You
going
taking it
on
the
in
wrong
his
way, babe.
Girl,
household.
go work
The
your
wrong
self
way.
into the ground
I
and
got
cook
it,
that
babe.
dinner
I got
And
it,
go
and
babe.
eat
cook
what
some
you want.
food and
But
give
listen,
and give him
Don't nobody care for
the big
real.
piece of chicken,
Don't
but
girl.
nobody
listen,
care.
but I just proved my point. My wife understands what's going on. We got a great dynamic here.
Right.
That's why she
Wonderful.
came
You made it about
downstairs,
y'all. We
and
really
that's why
don't
she
care.
came downstairs defending her husband.
Right. Okay,
And
but
you
we
won't
really
allow
don't
me
care.
to get
So
my
you don't
words
have
out
to
because
even
my
feel like
woman
about your wife,
defends her
child.
husband.
Girl, work your
Oh,
self
just
into the damn
hush.
ground. Don't nobody
Of
care.
course I
So
will.
so
Of
that's a
course I
woman
will.
thing too, to
I'll be
defend and
quiet because you
protect.
won't allow me to speak, and I'm not rude. I'm never going to disrespect a woman, so I'm going to be quiet and let you get your rhetoric out.
Go ahead,
You
Callie
sure
Bev.
talk loud.
Go ahead, Callie Bev.
I have to because of women like you. They don't allow a man to get their point across, so I talk loud.
Okay.
That's
In
so
all,
sad.
in all seriousness, I knew it was coming when he said she came downstairs. I knew that. I knew it was coming. Okay. As somebody who gets a household critique 24/7, I knew it was coming. Now, to a certain extent or whatever, I was cracking jokes. I'm not even going front. That shit was funny. Okay, it reminded me of that bit that went viral on Facebook with Kevin Hart and Taraji P. Henry. Give me the big bill, bitch. You know, that shit was fucking hilarious. And that's what it reminded me of. So I had little tears, okay? But what I cannot do, because I don't like it done to me, is for someone to tell me how my spouse feels. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna go there with you. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the jokes was funny. I'm not. It is what it is. The jokes
And
was
to your
funny.
point, thank you for saying that. I know this is YouTube. I don't take what you guys say personal. I am loud. I am animated, and it's just how I am. But trust me, I love great dialogue. So what you said did not offend me, and I thank you for saying what you said. But let's continue our conversation. I have no problem with it. We good.
I'm not gonna act like it don't sound fucked up, but everybody run their household
Right.
different. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I got
You
you.
mad at us.
Yeah, child, because it could not be me. I would never. I
Because
would never.
but for real though, you saying that because again, for the record, you're not really allowing me to explain myself, and you have this one-sided idea of what's going on. And honestly, it is one-sided. When I promise you, it might comes out wrong and aggressive, granted, but it really isn't. We're not
That's
unhappy.
fine.
It's
That's
not a
fine.
dominating situation. It's not. My woman is well aware of who she is. I love her femininity. I love all that. I promise you I do. And I want to be the best for her. I want to be that man that she deserves. So that's why I come out aggressive and all that. But trust me, we have a great dialogue. Do we argue? Yes. Do we have our issues as a marriage? Yes. We've been together since 1998.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Oh, your wife gonna beat your ass after this YouTube is over. She's gonna beat your ass.
Whoa, and they did not get me. Trust me, I won that debate. I'm sorry, they didn't get me.
No,
Shout out.
you did it.
Shout out to the beautiful and always lovely Sean Love and Support. Thank you so much. Natasha Vincent with the $9.99. She says, okay.
No, I don't need you, babe. We
Mrs.
good.
Otis. They're
We good,
happy.
babe.
That is that. Shout out to Natasha Vincent. Thank you so much for supporting the show.
Okay, can I just ask one more question, then I'm gonna go?
Please, Verbal, please don't ask nothing else about his relationship. I'm
not gonna ask you.
God damn it. We need 30.
I'm not gonna ask him about his.
Oh, okay.
I just because he said it's a woman. He said that's a woman's job. So I'm wondering do you think that men who cook for their wives, that they're doing a woman's work and they're out of place to be doing that?
Bam.
About to be a situation.
Shout out to Edda. Shout out to Ed Unchained for showing some love and support. The women on the panel can't cook. They can't relate.
Exactly. Say that.
Oh, damn.
Really? We can't cook.
In my household,
oh, okay.
In my household, the woman cook. I cook. There my wife go, I cook every now and again, but majority of the time, 90-something% of the time, my wife cooks.
That's
every
fine.
now
We
and
don't
again,
care.
I do a little something. She's right here.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. But it wouldn't be me,
Man,
especially
shout out to Miss
if I'm
Otis,
working.
man. She gonna beat
Hell
your
no.
ass after this, Otis. You gonna get your ass beat.
He gonna get his ass whooped.
My wife is right here.
Hey, Otis, what you say?
Telling these people all your damn marital business. You gonna get whooped on.
Y'all need to hear this.
Oh my God.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Come on, man. You know, I let my mannerism get you. This is what gets YouTube going. I could take all this. It's just my mannerism. It works.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Miss Otis gonna get going tonight on your ass.
But even if I can cook, man, I wouldn't cook. We already had this conversation. Yes.
You done had her come downstairs for this bullshit. Gonna beat your ass.
No. Say it. Say it, baby.
I heard him all the way upstairs.
Thank you, baby.
Miss Otis.
Yes, because he gets very loud on these platforms, Miss Otis. Miss Otis, he is very loud.
Hey, listen.
He needs another big piece of chicken tonight. Give him the big piece.
Hey, one thing I do know, he's gonna be eating more than some chicken tonight. That's all I
do. Oh snap!
All right, y'all. I just had to troll him a little bit because he was sounding crazy and insane and deranged up here. But let me get back to work because I will not be cooking tonight. Okay.
Y'all crazy.
Peace and love to you. Peace and love to you. Hey, I can't lie. Man. You Otis. These ladies, they had you in that rear naked choke.
Hold on. Hey, Brownsville, it was 3-on-1.
She recognized they had you all choked up. And she came down. She said, nah, not my husband. Y'all take your hands off of him. So she
Brownsville, you wrong, bro. Stop it.
She gave you that support, man. I gotta give you
damn.
But she proved my point.
Out the top turnbuckle on your ass, Otis.
Shout out to Otis. Time on this panel, bro.
What'd you say?
I'm letting you know right now. I appreciate all you guys, but I think this is gonna be my last time on this planet.
Free Otis.
We'll see you tomorrow. Right. Yeah, free Otis in the chat.
Oh man, this was absolutely awesome today. I appreciate all of y'all. I thank y'all for rocking out with us today. We are the Solution Based Gang. And we here every day at 9 a.m. ish. Hopefully y'all had a beautiful and productive day. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Make sure on your way out you hit the like button, because for some reason you're scared to hit the like button while you're here. So on the way out, hit the like button. I think that we got animated, we laughed, we screamed, we yelled, we got to some understanding by the end of the day, which is always a beautiful thing. And so yes, learn how to not have to decompress every single day. When you come home from work, leave the drama at the door. When you come home, that is your family time. Enjoy it, because you don't know when it's going to be a last time. We rebel against remedial rhetoric every single day. We challenge your thoughts. We make sure your thoughts are your own. Support great and beautiful productive bills. If that's what happened today, we are the Solution Based Gang, and I will see y'all later. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. See you soon. Oh,